Going live? It's live. Huzzah!
Hey.
Alrighty. Gonna wait for people to join. Gonna make a linky link to announcements. Going to do something. Share Discord. Announcements. Alrighty.
Oh wow, this is trippy. I'm watching your stream and I can. Oh my, that is trippy.
What's trippy?
I'm watching your stream, but I'm also listening to you through Discord.
Oh, so it's very delayed.
It's delayed by a couple of seconds.
Can you hear yourself?
No, I can't. I think you're muted on. I think no, not on Discord, but on YouTube.
You're muted on YouTube, which is a problem because that's what we don't want.
Oh yeah.
How do I fix that? Rowan asked the Cosmos.
Oh my gosh, you have the Freddy Fazbear in the background. The
that thing.
The Freddy Fazbear. I think it looks like it. Yeah, that.
Yeah, that thing. That thing.
That's funny.
Doesn't anymore. I'm gonna have it stare at the camera now just because I can.
Yeah.
Used to light up too, but the cord got broken.
Oh yeah.
See the lovely box fan in the background.
Yeah, when this stream's over, I'm probably gonna clip that and then send it to the memes. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
And clip that. That'd be like that.
All right. How do I make it so that you can be heard? Idea. Me a second time. Say something.
Something.
Very good. See, I called you on the phone. Now I'm just gonna put the phone by the computer. So if you say something, it should play.
Alright, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
See, but now I'm gonna need to ask you to test the audio quality of it.
Yeah. My audio quality, you mean I just have to scream into my phone, or?
Is audio quality absolute dog water?
I can't even hear it.
That's not good.
I can't hear anything on the on your stream at all. I'm checking if I'm muted. No, I'm not.
What about now? Can you hear anything?
I can hear you from Discord, not on YouTube. Oh,
Which is
I'm
not
a refresh.
Hello, hello. Hello, Clay. Hitchut hi. Ho ha hi. Hello.
Yeah, no, I can't hear it on YouTube.
No bueno. No bueno
Nah.
indeed. Hmm. Indubitably no good. How do we make that not bad? Everything stop dying. How do we fix this? Hello? Put that right there. Okay. This is just absolutely lovely. I love how this is not working. Yo. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? That is the question.
Not on YouTube.
Somebody's in the chat. Okay. They can hear me. Huzzah! Incredible. Can you hear the Sidui? The Sidui, say something.
Among Us.
Did you hear the scary man? Did you hear the scary man say Among Us?
Not scary.
You're definitely scary. Okay, you are heard. I am heard. Everything is lovely. Everything is lovely, amazing, and splendid.
Oh, maybe I can't hear it because of
Because of Discord?
Because I'm on Discord and I can't have two things that have sound on at the same time. That might be it.
Yeah, that would make sense. It's just that one strand. It's one strand. Okay. Now you go on that. Good. Go. Stay on that side. I need a haircut. All right. Well, it's been 10 minutes since the stream has started, and I'm done waiting. So, instead of waiting longer for people to join in, we are going to start just like this.
All right.
Just like this. So, yes, you're the only one in chat. Indubitably.
Oh my gosh, it's Portal Master of Games. Hello.
Yes, they have been in the chats. All right. So, shall we give us some options here? Shall we work on the life element, the water element, or the lovely blank element?
The blank elements sounds interesting.
I plan on working all of these. Working all of them? That's kind of gross. Working on all three of these elements for the stream. So blank element first? Blank?
Maybe blank.
All right. Ooh. Blank
Start
element.
Things off boring.
Yes, incredibly boring. Everyone wants to pop that way. All right. So we've been working on walls and how to not have those walls as far as the blank element goes so far. We've had rubble walls, just gates, and other sort of things like that, as well as the chests. So one thing that comes to mind from SSA, we've made chests as cards, we've made story scrolls as cards, we've made keys and all sorts of other sort of things, soul gems, and what have you. But the one collectible that I can think of that we haven't put into game, legendary treasures.
Oh yeah.
But I have no idea how we would fit those into the game whatsoever.
Dang. I feel like legendary treasures should probably be they sound like they should be their own type of card, or maybe they should be in the spell card category, or maybe in the item card category. They can't be. They're probably not going to be in their own category.
I was thinking them being items like the chests or the soul gems.
Yeah.
Portal Master of Games, what is your idea? Dramatic water sip. Well, Portal Master of ideas, Portal Master of Games. Oh, well, there it is. What about they give you a boost, like the winged boots can give you more speed, while the treasure of swords can give you more attack range. So that's actually an interesting idea. My only problem with the winged boots one is the fact that that's already. I actually have it right here. It's already a magic item, and that's basically what the magic item would do. I also don't know how we would increase the speed of. Maybe a card can attack twice.
Maybe you can attack, then flip a coin to attack again.
Ooh, yeah, that's interesting.
So not guarantee that you can attack twice.
It's an interesting idea. That's another thing that I forgot about. Hats. How do we put hats in? So one thing I would like to say, well,
Hats can probably be equipped onto a Skylander.
well, we can tamper with the idea of like making each legendary treasure its own card and each hat its own card. That's a little bit unrealistic. Just for the sheer fact that once we get into like even giants, that's a lot of hats. It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of hats.
I think that not every hat should be in. As much as I hate to say it, yeah, not every hat should be
Maybe
the SSA.
only more of the iconic ones. Like the first three are fairly iconic. The Viking hat, the pot hat, and the cowboy hat. Not the cowboy hat. It's a. Is it the cowboy hat that's in the tech zone for the first game? First tech zone? I think it is a cowboy hat.
Yeah, I think so.
And just the very fact that I can name those three, but I can't name, the first hat in Oil Spill Island. I don't know what hat that is, but I know all three hats that are in the first level of the first game. That shows that they're iconic enough.
Yeah.
How did you not have a hat? It's a big part of the game. Personally, I never really used hats when playing through the games.
Oh, yeah.
I preferred the look of the Skylanders without hats.
If you're equipping like a chef's hat or whatever to increase your attack by like 5 points, I don't want a dumb hat.
I didn't do it a lot because a lot of the hats looked really, for lack of a better term, stupid on certain Skylanders. Like, although it's iconic to put the Viking hat on Spyro, now he has, like, his horns no clipping through the hat, and then he has an extra pair of horns. It kind of messes with the look.
I like to use the moose horns on Spyro. I think my Spyro actually has the moose horns on him right now. And also, I chose the charging path because of stunning enemies. I feel like that the charging path is just better.
You go to Gates of the Elements. Do you have an area card for the elements? So, elemental zones will be their own area of cards. So, there'll be elemental zone cards for each element. Obviously, not one for chaos or blank. Well, maybe one for blank, but not for chaos.
Yeah.
And if there was one for blank, it wouldn't enhance blank things. It would just wipe away the elemental zone entirely. Which, that wouldn't even really be an elemental zone in and of itself. It would be more like a remove elemental zones sort of thing. That was just under the blank elements.
Oh, yeah.
And then, as far as elemental gates go, those would be like the wall or gate cards that we've been working on. Basically, the way those would work, though, is that they would actually have an elemental alignment, and you would need its character of that element on your team in order to get through the enemy team's elemental gates. Either that or a card that basically says no to gates or things like that.
It kind of feels odd how there's actually like if you place down an elemental gate that just prevents. So, like, for example, if you were to place down, let's just say, an elemental gate that prevents a Skylander from going through, unless they have a specific element that, basically, if you have no cards that get rid of the elemental gate or have a Skylander element, you just can't do anything. And basically, if someone places down an elemental gate and you don't have a Skylander of that element in your deck, or you don't have a card that discards, or maybe you've ran out of them, they're all in your discard pile and stuff like that, you just can't get through, and you can't do anything.
That could prove as an unfair advantage in some scenarios. So it could be a case of maybe you just need a card overall of that element. Still, if you have a fire and water deck against a life and undead deck, you're not going to have life or undead Skylanders in your fire and water deck. But, I would hope that people would have nope cards in their decks, just seeing as the sheer power of a nope card. I mean, who wouldn't want a card where you basically can just say, no, I see your idea, but no. Who wouldn't want that card? I mean, that sounds like one of the essentials, like a key card.
Yeah. Maybe we can have like some sort of like new type of a new item card called a elemental key, which unlocks any elemental gate. But I'm not sure if it can be used once or if it can be used. But like I feel like that elemental key should be shuffled into the deck instead of being put in the discard pile. If item cards even go to the discard pile anyway, I definitely think that the elemental key card should unlock any elemental gate, but you shuffle it back into the deck because guess what? If that key goes in the discard pile and you run out of keys, the opponent's just going to place down another elemental gate, and then you're stuck again.
Well, if you can only have 3 of the same card max in your deck.
That's still like 3. Like people
that's
could possibly use cards
to
help work out certain cards.
Now, of course, there is also the possibility of it being a dual element deck, and then you have, 6 elemental gate cards, 3 of one element and 3 of the other one, and then your opponent can only have 3 elemental key decks. Oh, I'm not even talking about Swap Force, just having decks with 2 elements in them overall. Because I don't see why that couldn't be a thing, personally. I mean, you put whatever cards you want in your deck. It's just, be careful what you do. Oh, welcome, Chemical Bakery. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Anyways, back to the train of thought. The train of thought has left the station, people. It has left the station. I have missed my stop. Where were we talking? What were we talking? Okay, we were literally just talking. What were we talking about?
Elemental gates and how to get rid of them.
Okay, so how about this? What if the elemental key card didn't actually have a limit on it? It'd be a rare scenario where you could theoretically have as many of those as you want in your deck. Obviously, you don't want your deck to be 50% elemental key cards, but it's a possibility to have more than just 3 elemental key cards. Be one of the few cards to have a rule like that. But I feel like in order to keep it fair, it would make sense.
Maybe just like you can't have more than 1 elemental gate of the same name in your deck. You just have just 1.
Yeah, but then you still end up with 2 if it's a 2 element deck, and then that's 2 to a 3 ratio. So that's a roughly 33% chance that you'll have an elemental key to combat the elemental gate. And that's if, an infinite sort of scenario. That's like best case scenario right there.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, which is the most likely scenario even, very low percentile chance that you would actually have a key at the time that they have a gate, unless you're able to have more than 3. And while that you could argue that that's the whole point of the elemental gate, so that it's harder, but there's a point where strategy turns into unfair advantage, and that's about that point, I would say.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't you? So, we've gone over that whole tangent. I feel like we've settled on the elemental gate and 2 elemental key cards. Correct?
Maybe elemental gate cards can just be elemental zones, and then those give an effect to a Skylander of that element.
You asked me. Elaborate. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, you kind of lost me on that one. Please elaborate.
Wait, sorry, I'm thinking. Yeah, so like basically, like what if instead of an elemental gate, it's an elemental zone, and that gives an effect to both players or all the players or however many people are playing. It gives let's say you put it out in the center of the field, and that gives an effect to all the players, but it affects a certain calendar of that specific element, and each effect is different. Like for example, let's say water Skylanders deal, let's just say 20 or 30 more damage, while life gates give slight regeneration during as it begins to be your turn, and when you end your turn, that's when your life Skylanders heal.
Well, having the elemental zone cards was already a planned thing, and they were basically going to do exactly that. The elemental zone cards would give bonuses, and if we were to have a elemental hierarchy sort of thing going on, then even disadvantages to opposite elements to the, specified elements. So like life, bonus to life, disbonus to, let's say, undead. And things like that. And then the possibility of each elemental zone of different elements giving different overall effects too was another thing. But yeah, elemental zone cards were going to not just affect your team, but the enemy team as well. So while it could just benefit you in an average scenario where you're let's say an earth deck versus a fire deck, you put out an earth zone card. If they don't have any earth Skylanders, it isn't really going to benefit them. It'll benefit you more than anything. But then if they play a fire zone, then that'll just go on top of your earth zone. Basically, cancel your earth zone, and now it's a fire zone. So now it's affecting both of you with a fire zone instead. And that could provide its own advantages, disadvantages, and special effects.
Yeah, actually, that sounds about right. Yeah, I agree with that. Or maybe when let's say you play the fire zone, that gets, if you play a zone card, an elemental zone, and that goes into play, and then also plays another elemental zone, and then so the original one should go into that to go to the card owner's discard pile, just like automatically.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Just trumpet, it goes away, it stays gone. Magical fairy glitter dust hands. It twinkles away. Okay, I'm done doing that. I don't know what that was, but it needs to stop. I have not looked in chat for a while. Elaborate basically means to explain something. What about this? Enemy gets a zone, and the player gets a zone. You can choose both the zones and give both effects. Also, you can have a zone swap card, so you swap zones with each other. So, Portal Master Games, I see what you're saying. However, unless I'm reading it wrong, basically you're saying, what if you can have two elemental zones out at the same time? That's what I picked up from that. I don't know if I'm reading it incredibly wrong and I'm a crazy person with zero reading comprehension, or I'm just crazy. If you are saying two elemental zones at once, though, that would kind of trump the whole idea of the elemental zone card giving advantages in the first place. At least I feel like it would. Because the whole point of the elemental zone card was to basically have a card that gives one element an advantage. So if you bring in two of those, then that kind of messes that up. because now two elements get an advantage, and then basically everybody just gets an advantage. That's the same as if everybody didn't have an advantage, which kind of, again, messes up the whole point of the Elemental Zone card in the first place.
Yeah.
So,
maybe there could be special element zones. Let's just say there'd be like a regular common water zone, which requires less source ripeness to summon. But then there'd be like a stronger version of it. Let's just say it'd be like it would be named after one of the elemental zones in. Maybe it'd be like a snowy place, for example, and then that does a different thing from the original water element zone, but it does something different, but it's a better effect.
So actually, that goes on to another thing that I would like to mention. So while there are also Elemental Zone cards, there would also be level cards, which you would play like the Elemental Zone cards as your area cards. When you play a level card and there's an Elemental Zone card or another level card, you basically do the same thing. It, removes the other one. Now the new one is in play, but level cards will give bonuses based on the theme that level had. So, for instance, Sky Schooner Docks. So, Sky Schooner Docks is under the air level category because it's on your way to get the Eternal Air Source. So, Air Skylanders get a bonus. Well, Air creatures get a bonus automatically. But all Dro also get a bonus, which benefits the already, if it was an air element Dro, they would already have the benefit. But then any of the life element Dro as well would also get that bonus, even though there are different elements.
I like that. That sounds great.
So,
cards named Dro get this effect.
Yeah, exactly. And I would basically almost every Dro card has the word Dro in it. The only one I can think of that doesn't is the Blitzer Bully, which you can just specify any Dro or Blitzer Bully, which kind of closes that loophole.
But this is kind of a stupid question, but do Skylanders like Flame Slinger or Fright Rider or Stealth Elf count as a Dro character? A Dro Skylander?
Well, Stealth Elf specifically would count as an elf. I don't know if you want to make the argument that Dro are elves and elves are Dro, but personally I would say a Dro is a type of elf, but an elf is not a type of Dro in this standpoint. At least that's the overall fantasy genre standpoint. I would assume it's the same for Skylanders.
I would probably put any Skylander that appears to be a Dro out of the Dro category because it just makes things simpler.
Well, if we say appears to be, then that leaves room for interpretation, which, while that isn't necessarily a bad thing when writing a book, in a card game, concisiveness seems to be of the essence, and that makes it less punctual, if that makes sense.
Yeah. This has to be like, this card named Dro does this, instead of it being like, if this creature wears a hat, or if this creature is, so like the picture of the card doesn't matter. It doesn't really have any
it just adds color to the card. It gives you a little something extra to look at. And that's another thing I'd like to address. While the cards currently don't have borders or textures to them, that is something that I would like to add in the future, a texture to the color in the back of the card, and then based off of what type of card it is, a different color border around the card, or maybe a different style, what's the word I'm looking for here? Design, a different designed border for different types of cards to help, show the difference. So, if you're ever, which if you've played the games, you wouldn't be, but if you're ever in a spot where you're like, I don't know if this is an enemy card or a Skylander card, you have that border to tell you, hey, this is this kind of card, or this is this kind of card. So, if we go the colored standpoint, Skylanders could be blue, enemies red, spells yellow, and items green. That's a very simple way to just color code it, and then that kind of solves your problems. And
also, like, in that, like, there's the Skylanders have to have a specific, like, color on the base of the element. If you're playing, let's say, a fire and water deck, and you have all your fire Skylanders that have the red, the red printing on them, or whatever. That looks like it fits. But when you play water Skylanders, you're mixing that up with, oh wait, this isn't a fire Skylander.
hold on a moment. I return. Where were we? Borders.
Yeah.
So yes, continuing that, maybe even both color and design change too, just to blanket out the idea of color blindness being an issue. Because I myself am red-green colorblind, so I might confuse the reds and greens myself. Obviously, saying as I've helped make the game, I shouldn't confuse an enemy which is red with an item which is green. But in the rare case that I would, or that somebody else with red-green color blindness would, or any other character color blindness,
because there's also of course there's the tags on the cards that show the element and the creature or card type, which I think I think that's important.
Yeah. And that also helps blur, because there are certain cards that say any creature card or any Skylander card, and we obviously need some sort of differentiation between Skylanders, enemies, spells, items, and area cards in order for that to actually work. Otherwise, we're just sort of leaving it for interpretation, which can lead to people playing the game in ways that are completely unintended.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm also thinking that maybe the card, instead of being like a solid color on the card, maybe they can have like some sort of like subtle texture on them. Maybe this is completely optional. I don't really care.
That's what I was talking about. A texture just overall on the card is like, okay, so you remember how the element symbols originally looked on like the first promo stuff for Spyro's Adventure, like looking at the different elemental signs, it looks kind of stony on the background of it. Maybe just a texture like that on the card would change it. So make it a bit easier on the eyes, I would say. Just help it look a bit less monotonous.
Yeah. What if starter pack Skylanders can have they can have their original card, but they also can have like a slightly different card with maybe a slightly different moveset. Let's say there'd be like Promo, Spyro, Gilbert, and Trigger Happy. Like they would all look. The card would probably have the picture would probably look different, and their attacks would be slightly stronger. Maybe they might even have different attacks. Or maybe some sort of like maybe they can have extra health or something like that. Yeah.
It sounds like you just cut out 2 times.
Oh, I did.
You were talking and then you said attack, and then you cut out. Then you came back, and then either it was a natural pause or you cut out a second time.
Okay. I'm just gonna sort of start over with what I was saying before. So like maybe what if there was like a promo version of Spyro, Gilbert, and Trigger Happy, and they're just like slightly better versions of the originals. Like there would be like the cool versions of the original Skylanders, but they're like I wouldn't say they would be better. They would just play slightly differently. Like for example, Spyro. Let's say Spyro would have his effect would be like, if this Skylander has a hat, it can hit through elemental gates, for example, or maybe Gilgrunt could take altogether less damage from fire Skylanders or fire creatures, or maybe even Trigger Happy, maybe even flipping a coin to discard an opponent's source fragment or whatever after attacking.
So like
Something
an extra effect onto the card.
Yeah, like an extra effect.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Or we could go the Skylanders E3 variant route and just be like, it's special because it is. E3 variants. They invoke anger. Chemical Bakery. Where's my meta-destroying Arbo card? That's actually a good point. Character cards. Not necessarily enemies or Skylanders, but like Arbo or Flynn or Callie.
Flynn is
definitely air elements.
Air element, I was gonna say.
Air element or blank. Hugo, I would say is either magic or blank. Callie is probably the only one I would say is definitively blank. Because I just can't think of another element for Callie. But Hugo, magic. Flynn, air. Gurglefin, water. Persephone, blank. General Robot, tech. T-Bone, undead. I'm saying these guys all out of order.
Yeah.
Diggs would be interesting because he's both for earth and fire.
Maybe just earth, and then maybe we can find some other NPC character that can also cover fire. Maybe we just don't. Maybe we just forgot about this. Let's say that this one NPC that no, not Quigley. Never mind. Quigley is either blank. Yeah, Quigley's blank. Never mind.
Callie is water because of the pirate in SSA. So I think what you're referring to is the Pirate Seas Adventure Pack.
I've never played
the Pirate Seas Adventure Pack does not have Callie. That's not the mob. It's another female Mabu that I guess you could say resembles Callie, but that's not Callie. That's actually a different NPC. I can't think of her name right now off the top of my head. I don't generally. Yeah, I'm not playing Pirate Seas Adventure Pack in my free time. That's not my That's not my go-to pastime. So I wouldn't know the name of that NPC.
Played an Adventure Pack.
I'm not even really a very big fan of the Pirate Seas Adventure Pack, to be honest. The other three I like a lot more than the Pirate Seas. Definitely my least favorite out of the SSA 4. That was off topic. Anyways, what if we could have 2 Diggs cards? So just one's Earth and one's Fire. Because we already have the 2 different drill cards for like the Drill Spearman. Actually, I think the Drill Spearman is the other one. Yeah. For the Drill Spearman, for instance, there's the Air Drill Spearman and the Life Drill Spearman. And the main reasoning for that one originally was because in the Wii version, they actually looked different in the 2 different parts of the game. Oh. The ones in the air area still had green skin and stuff. You know, what you're used to seeing with green on red, I think it is. No, it's red on gray is what I think their first colors are. But when you get to the life areas in Spyro's Adventure on the Wii, they actually change colors to be red on green, and their skin is greener. Which is the original reasoning behind the 2 different types color drill cards. And that's also partially why all the pictures that we've been putting on the cards were actually from the Wii version. The other part is because I think the Wii version actually looks better than the other console versions for Spyro's Adventure. Just because the other ones look like more saturated to me, honestly. Portal Master Games, I'm going to go now. Bye. Have fun and good luck, everyone. Goodbye, Portal Master. We wish you
Bye.
well on your travels. All right, quiet you. Anyways, so other than that, back on topic. So digs could have two different cards, one for Earth, one for Fire. Maybe they don't do the same things. Like, the Fire one might have one main effect, and the Earth one would have a different main effect. They could share side effects, but for the most part, the main effects would be completely different or mostly different.
Yeah, maybe one of the Mabu could cover for fire like Nort or Blobbers, or maybe Blobbers can cover for Earth, and Diggs can cover for fire.
Callie could cover for one of them. Callie doesn't have to be blank. I mean, if we think about it, if Callie were to be an element, most resembles Earth because Callie is a lot more rough and tumble than most Mabu, I would say. So if we had to have
Callie, Earth,
one NBC cover for another, we could make it Diggs for fire, and then Callie could take over for Earth. Hugo also doesn't have to be magic, because for a magic NPC, we also have the Weapons Master.
Oh, yeah. I think the Weapons Master would be either tech or magic, because the Archaeans are a mixture between both magic and tech.
Overall, in this game, Archaeans are going to mostly be magic, just because they were not only in the magic part of the game primarily, but there also isn't enough magic enemies in the game that aren't Archaeans for us to just ignore that and just put Archaeans in tech. In future games, maybe dual element them, so one set in magic, one set in tech. But for this game specifically, we already have enough in tech, so we might as well just put Archaeans just in magic. And that's another reasoning for the Drow Spearmen being two elements, because otherwise the life element would be kind of lackluster, especially when you have another version of the Drow Witch, aka the Blade Witch. You have another version of the Goliath Drow, aka Blitzer Boy. It's kind of weird to not have another Drow Spearman, but the Drow Spearman doesn't get a special version in the life area. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, one thing I do notice a lot of the time, each element seems to have a normal species for it. Oh, most of them. Fire element, I wouldn't really say has a normal, overall archetype, you could call it. But you get to water. Water seems to share pirates for the most part. Tech is normally trolls. Magic is Archaeans. Earth is Cyclopses. Air is the Drow. Life is also the Drow. And the undead seems to share a wide variety of spiders.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. What about what were those enemies called? The ones that could only be killed by fire in the undead place?
Oh, the rotting robbies.
Yeah, those.
Those guys are annoying.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that brings up an interesting thing. So if they can only be, let's say we make the cards so that they can only be attacked by fire cards. In the game, Spyro's fire can also attack them. But if we made it so that they can only be hurt by fire cards, that kind of messes that up.
Yeah.
And I don't want to make Spyro's fireball be, taking a fire source fragment, because then that's that is prohibiting the decks in which Spyro, what you would think would be your main character card could be in.
Maybe any combination of one magic or one fire for fireball. You can use either magic or fire, and that would still cover for fire or magic. It'd still count as either one attack.
see what you're saying. So his attack could have a special property where you either use magic source fragments or fire source fragments to cast it, instead of it just being a soul element. That's actually a good idea. Then we could make it so that the Rotting Robbie can only be affected by attacks or abilities that took a fire source fragment to cast. So if you were to cast Spyro's Flame Ball attack with fire instead of magic, in that scenario, then you could take out the Rotting Robbie.
Yeah.
Another thing.
And also, is that what if let's say you're playing a Rotten Robbie deck against someone who's playing a deck that doesn't have any fire cards?
That's actually what I was about to address. Bombs and cannons. Those are both cards that are of the blank element, which we've already made, that I think every player would normally have. So considering that, I would assume that they would eventually get a bomb or cannon card, which they could use against the Rotting Robbie. Another thing, Rotting Robbies could also get affected by push blocks, a card that we haven't made yet. Whenever you push the push block into an enemy, as far as Adventure or most of the other games, it would kill it, or it not necessarily instantly kill it, but deal it, I don't know, somewhere around 10,000 damage in one swipe, which is enough to kill basically any enemy. And that even includes Rotting Robbies.
It should just be like, okay, the enemy that gets pushed by this is just knocked out. Like,
that's
there should
another
be
thing.
like 1,000 damage is dealt. Even though that can also work too.
We could say that the push blocks are just simply kill target creature cards, and that's just all they do. Although I would like to have the push blocks have a bit more like kill target creature and then place in a creature slot to work as a sort of barrier too, and then you would have to attack it to get, to move it. Maybe it doesn't kill anybody on the enemy side, but then you would have to attack it to get through it in an additional time, which would buy you some time to restore health or something. That's not a thing. Restoring health, food cards. That's something I'd like to point out.
Food cards.
Because,
they should definitely just be item cards that heal.
Yeah, while there will be healing spells in the magic element, not magic element, what? In a life element, not every deck's going to be the life elements. So just miscellaneous blank element food cards sound like a good idea?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So food card, heal 30 damage, let's say, on target creature. Just do that, and then that'll be, food card. I don't want to. I could say 50 health, but 50 health seems like a bit much. I mean, that's 5 attacks that you just, which sounds like a bit much. And for most cards, that would just be a full health, unless you're using a Skylander card. Otherwise, that would just be come back to full health, which is a bit much for most of your weaker normal enemy cards.
Dang. Maybe,
I would say 30 is a good amount. Or I don't want to make it 10 because that's really low. Like, that's just basically restoring
or maybe,
one point.
Maybe just look at the range or the attack damage that is considered to be like an average amount of damage.
Yeah, so maybe the food card just gets made later, because then we can take what the average attack damage is for a normal card and have it heal that much.
Even though that players can level up Skylanders, I definitely think that
it shouldn't kill the
people are
Skylander.
probably going to just people are either going to play a lot of level 1s, or just literally just a bunch of level 1 cards, and just sort of just using those and sort of just like, just let's say having, let's say, 3 zaps, 3 slam bams, 3 gill grunts, 3 wham shells,
Okay.
and then just using those.
That brings me to
Because
one topic that I would like to address. Actually, 2. First off, I was originally thinking of a mechanic so that you can only have one of each Skylander out on the battlefield at a certain time. Looking back on it, to have a Skylander's only deck, in order to validate that, you would either need to mainly fill up your creature card slots in your deck with just those Skylanders and then leveled up versions, which honestly fills that up pretty well and makes it so that you don't have to splice deck. But otherwise, if you were only going to use level 1s, you would have to multi-element your deck. Which, well, that I wouldn't necessarily say that's a bad thing. If somebody wants a primarily one-colored deck, they shouldn't have to only use enemy cards to achieve that.
Yeah.
And that brings me to another topic I would like to address. The reason why Skylander and enemy cards have a differentiation. One of the first mechanics I ever thought of was at the end of a turn, at the end of your turn, if you have both enemies and Skylanders out on your board, because they're natural enemies, they have to fight each other, which would generally stop players from having Skylanders and enemies in their one deck.
I feel like that would kind of just take up a lot more time. It's like, bam, that's the end of my turn. I just attacked your Gill Grunt with Robot's eye laser attack. Ooh, whoopsie, I have a troll on the bench. I have to fight that. Bam, spend about like 30 seconds, just attacking the troll. I feel like it'd just be a little too time consuming.
The main thing that I was thinking when saying that, when coming up with that idea, was that it would only be the first attack listed on that card. If the first attack listed on that card doesn't do damage, it doesn't use that attack. And if the card was already tapped, it does not attack among them. It does not attack among themselves, and it does not get attacked. And another thing I'd like to address with that is that it wouldn't cost anything for this just random attacking, but it would mainly be an exchange of attacks if an enemy card was next to a Skylander card. Which comes up to strategies, because if you have an enemy card on this side and a Skylander card all the way over here, if they aren't touching each other, they don't have to attack. So you could make up a board where it's enemy, Skylanders, or that's not what you want, but enemies to Skylanders, a sort of half and half of your board to help divide it. It brings in more strategy to the placement of your cards, but that may in turn end up making games take a lot longer to complete. Looking back on it, and in the case of a weak creature, which every element tends to have that one creature that will obviously die from one hit, like Life Element, Chompies, Earth Element, the Cyclops, the Timid Clops, that's what they're called. And other cards like that, which have very low health, somewhere under 10 or at 10, those guys would basically get screwed, because if you just put them out and you had to put it right next to a Skylander card, then it basically has no chance. It's going to die, period. It might do a bit of damage to your own card, which you really don't want. And seeing as you can't attack with a card on the same turn that you put it out, unless it has an effect that says otherwise, that kind of messes up with the whole. It kind of messes with the whole dynamic of it all.
Yeah. It also leads me to another question. So, like, if an enemy, if there are enemy cards on your team and Skylanders on your team, why would they fight each other? That kind of just leads me to a question, because it's like, aren't they supposed to be buds?
Yeah, that's another part of it. It doesn't make as much sense as I had originally thought. Because again, my original thought process was, well, these are Skylanders, these bad guys, they don't like each other. So they fight. But then that leads to the question, then why are they working together? Is there some sort of story reason? Why is there story to a simple card game? It doesn't make sense looking back on it.
Yeah.
So I feel like that idea might need to get scrapped. Now, give me a moment here. I'm gonna go grab some more water. I'm gonna go refill this. I'll be right back.
Alright.
I return. Oy. Wait. Hello. The CGI guy.
Hello.
All right, I return. Back for more conversation.
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah. Gonna check something real quick. Okay, I'm gonna stop checking something real quick. Alright, so back onto the topic at hand. We kind of just spent an hour talking about some miscellaneous stuff, but mostly on the area of blank cards and item cards. Would you say that's mostly what the conversation for the past hour has been about?
That sounds about right, yeah.
Alright, so we spent an hour talking about that. Let's move on to the next topic. Past the blank element, I would like to talk about the life element for a moment and how that would work, how the spells for the life element will work. Obviously, we have two very clear candidates on the life element spell chart. Healing spell, just a miscellaneous healing spell, and then something along the lines of the life spells that Chaos uses. And the I think it's the level Falling Forest at the end of that level at the boss fight with the evil Skylanders. That's another thing. I forgot to make evil Skylander cards for the life elements, and I need to make them for the water elements. So I need to do that.
I think that so I think in Giants the evil Skylanders are actually called ambushes.
Yeah, in Giants, there are events called ambushes where you have to deal with 3 of the same evil Skylander. Actually, one of Chop Chop's special quests is to defeat an evil Chop Chop with him in Giants.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure it's not Molken Mine. It's like it's a like desert style Molken like hilly area. It's where you fight. Well, try
it's
to
in the,
fight.
The worst Giants level. The one where you get to fly with the helicopter.
Yeah, it's leading up to the Oracle level actually. the level you're talking about, Auto Gyro Adventure, that level is after the Oracle level. This is the level before the Oracle.
Oh.
This is the one I'm talking. I have. Hold on. I have this lovely thing. I can find the name of the level in here. It's one with a arena. What is it? Molken Mountain. That's it.
Ah.
Molken Mountain, the one with Pipsqueak.
Oh yeah, the one with Pipsqueak.
Yeah, the Cyclops chopper who you defeat after like just touching.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely a joke character.
Mm. He's gonna be fun to make a card for when we get to Giants.
Yeah.
Anyways, back on topic. So other than the healing spell and the life spell that Chaos uses, what are some other good spells? I showed that Circle of Life idea, that idea card. Like to elaborate a little bit on that and then think up some other sort of things. Actually going to pull up what I put for the card here. If my phone would recognize my fingerprint, because I don't feel like putting in. There we go. So, going back to it's in not official items. It's in card concepts on this Discord server. By the way, insert self promotion here. I'm going to put a link for this Discord in which we make these cards. In the we'll put a link in the description, in the comments while we're at it. But going back, looking for it. Circle of Life. There it is. Okay, Circle of Life. 4 life source fragments to cast. When in play, for every creature of the life element that dies, all other creatures of the life element gain 20 HP.
Oh, that's really good.
Then-
sounds actually really well balanced.
So the original thinking for that was, hey, there's the Circle of Life in, nature. It's a life element, so how about we make it so that, death equals life, that sort of thing. Originally, the card was also going to give a attack buff, but that doesn't really fit the life element that much. Healing is more the life elements thing. Healing and poisoning. That's another thing, poison. There will be also a card, which is a poison vial that you equip onto an enemy card. Not like the enemy classification of a card, an enemy player's card. Which basically does low damage, like 10 damage, but it does it every turn. Or every other turn.
Same way in Pokemon.
Yeah, something like that. Which, in which case, would make your top priority to get that poison vial off of you.
Yeah.
I'm thinking either like a cure card or just a card that says detach all, cards equipped to this card, for instance. A card like that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Other than those, though, I haven't really thought of any other sort of cards for the life elements, other than obviously creature cards. So, what are some ideas? Bring them. Bring them on.
I was also meaning to ask, what is the main concept about the chaos element, and how is that different from anything else? Why is that separate from the others? How is that a different element type?
Okay, so main thing about the chaos elements, first off, it would have its own source fragments, although they wouldn't there obviously isn't a chaos source, and there isn't an internal source of chaos to our knowledge in the lore, or the first game originally, excuse me. Um, but the whole main reasoning for the chaos elements is difference between normal cards and chaos cards, or cards related to chaos. For instance, while obviously chaos would be his own card within that classification, obviously, another card in that classification, the Hydra. While you could put the Hydra in the blank elements, that's saying he isn't an element when in turn he's multiple elements. So basically, what I'm trying to say here is that the chaos element is a sort of sub classification elements for the misfit boss type cards. Another card that would actually be either in the chaos elements or the blank element, Glumshanks.
Yeah, Glumshanks is what I would say is in the chaos element, despite him being the furthest, like very different from chaos.
So
I would definitely still put him in that category.
An idea for Glumshanks, now that we're on the topic. So in the Molken Mine level, he is found messing up the railway, right? He's screwing up your rails. So I was thinking, how about he disables target area effect or a trap that's been set? Basically, he
also maybe element gates.
Exactly. He might be able to just say no to a card like that because he sabotages. So maybe you play him as a creature card and he can't deal damage. And he'll have however many health. But then you can use his ability, Sabotage, which then allows him to disable a target card. And he can do that every turn as long as you have, enough source fragments to tap. So that could end up being a very strong card. And while normally I would say that's too overpowered, we should maybe nerf that. The entire point of the Chaos element is to have those overpowered cards. So having even Glumshanks overpowered in the Chaos element, I actually don't think is necessarily a bad thing, because it's meant to be an overpowered element.
Yeah.
And that kind of brings me to something I would like to note here. A sub-classification of enemy cards, the boss cards. Obviously, they have their own rarity symbol that I haven't made a card with that rarity symbol yet. But the whole reason that even differentiates is because boss cards in of themselves are different. One of the first things I'd like to note about a boss card, only one of them in your deck. You can have multiple different boss cards, but only one boss card of the same name can be in your deck, while normally it would be up to 3 of any same name card in your deck.
Yeah, I definitely think that bosses would be like, it'd be like, oh, you knocked out one boss, ooh, I'm gonna bring out another one.
Yeah, you shouldn't be able to do that.
Even though it does have a different name, it might have a different element and different source fragments required and stuff like that, and it might have a completely different strategy with a completely different build for that. But I think that the fact that you can have multiple bosses in the deck, people can probably get really clever on how and what cards do they put in their deck that can help them out. Basically, yeah, people can be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put this boss in, but then this boss of a different element. In this boss just so happens to have, let's say, a blank source fragment required to use its first attack, and I can basically sort of use that to my advantage, or maybe like just something like that. Like having multiple bosses in a deck sounds really. It sounds.
So, something I would like to reference for examples of boss cards. Examples for boss cards. The Earth Monster in, I think, level Stone Town, where you have to fight him and then you get the Eternal Earth Source because that he was the Eternal Earth Source.
Yeah.
So, that whole thing, he would be a boss. Another example of
Yeah.
a boss. Obviously, we aren't going to mention Chaos and the Hydra because they're obvious boss candidates. But the Mega Tank in, I think the level is Battlefield, where you have to destroy it to get the Eternal Tech Source. I would consider that a boss.
Oh yeah.
And then
The
another
Tech
example of bosses would be actually the ambush cards. I would consider those guys at least mini bosses.
Yeah.
I would consider them boss enough to be classified under boss, especially since they are the closest cards to Skylanders within the enemy subcategory. Well, subcategory.
Yeah, they're considered as bosses. I would consider them as bosses.
Yeah, I would consider them at the very least mini bosses and in turn bosses under the boss rarity. Oh hey, Monster Asylum! Welcome. Chicken crispy tender nuggets. That sounds like it's out of order. School's about to end for you. Sweet. Well, when you can, we would love for you to, at least I would love for you to hop in on the discussion. So I'm hoping we could rely on you showing up soonish, hopefully. Back on to the discussion. Yeah, those are boss cards. I would consider all those boss cards, which makes it 3 bosses for fire, 3 for water, 1 for tech, none for magic, 1 for earth, none for air, 3 for life, and 3 for undead, and then 2 for chaos. And presumably none for blank, seeing as that isn't a normal element in which you would have creatures.
Yeah.
That actually brings me to a question. This is probably going to be a poll on the Discord in the future, but the question being, should we come up with our own Skylanders and creatures for the blank elements?
Sorry, what do you mean by blank elements? For what?
So the blank element would be the blank symbol, the same thing that most miscellaneous items.
Yeah, I know that, but what do you mean by our own Skylanders?
Basically coming up with original characters to add to the game. It's something I've...
Or like the Imagineers?
Kind of like Imagineers. But basically making up our own Skylanders to put into the game, as well as some enemies. Personally, I'm not against nor for the idea, but I feel like it's something important enough that we might want to address it as at least a question for the future.
Yeah. Yeah, people are probably gonna be like, this isn't nostalgic enough because there's like a some blank element snake dinosaur creature thing. I don't like it, or something like that, for example.
But if we did that, that opens up the possibility to have a completely blank deck, which, while I don't think that it's necessary, I honestly think that that opens up for the ability to have a lot more strategy. And seeing as the blank cards wouldn't be based around elements, that opens up the idea that maybe blank cards are much more focused on specifically strategy. Like, they're a lot more strategy-based, and maybe a blank deck, while other decks more prioritize getting your Skylanders out, leveling up your Skylanders, attacking with your leveled up Skylanders. Well, a blank deck would consist of a lot more setup. It's like, I have to do this, so I can set this out, so I can prepare this. So now this weak card now gets all of these bonuses to attack real strong. Or, I get to basically debuff your entire, area of cards. Obviously, these are extreme scenarios, but things similar to that, which involve a lot of strategy and proper setup to execute.
Oh yeah.
It sounds like I've been thinking about this for a while, but I'm coming up with all of this on the spot. Most of this on the spot. The questions I've had for a bit, but most of the after talk is improvised.
Yeah.
Gonna look at something here. Monster Asylum is in the chat. He is in the VC. I don't know if he's going to be talking yet or not, or if he's going to be talking at all. However, he is in the VC on Discord currently. Anyways, back on topic.
Nice.
Back on topic. Life element cards, spells, items. Shoot me some ideas.
It's been a while since the last I played Spyro's Adventure. I don't really have to think of this. There could probably be the maybe the no, wait.
What?
No, that was a trap team. Never mind. I was thinking about the acorns that you put in the ground. To pour water
Oh,
on them.
yeah, the acorns.
But you know, that's trap team, I guess.
Yeah, that
Is
is
that?
trap team. Yeah, that's trap team.
I don't know.
And we can come up with some completely original ideas. We don't have. I mean, I didn't take that Circle of Life spell card idea from the game. That was something that I just kind of came up with.
Oh yeah.
We don't have to take our ideas from the spell cards from the game, especially since there aren't a lot of actual spell cards in the games. So I feel that that's an area in which we can play around a bit.
Yeah.
All right.
I still got nothing. I don't know.
The bramble.
Wait, that sounds familiar.
The
Oh yeah,
bramble.
the bushes. Yeah.
The bushes. At the start of the game in SSA, you are tasked to clear out the bushes so that we can get to the far viewer and look through it.
Oh, so
We
the
could set up
viewer
the
should also be-
bramble as a type of barrier in the life elements that maybe just takes up damage. So you have to, in the game, you have to hit it 3 times, no matter how much damage you do. It takes 3 hits to kill it. So maybe just give it like 30 health or 60 health. I don't know, 3 times the average attack damage of health for its health. Something like that.
Yeah.
Ooh, awkward silence! Awkward silence! Well, we can circle back around to that topic. Water Skylanders / creatures.
Yeah.
So I've
Yeah.
been working on them a little bit. in the background, as you saw through the random Gil Grunt posting. I just randomly did the Gil Grunts, I think it was yesterday. Gil Grunt cards. Besides those, though, I haven't worked too much on the water elements. I haven't worked at all on the enemies from the water elements, and I've been working some on the Skylanders.
Yeah.
So, thinking of them, what are some ideas for mechanics on Water's Skylander? Oh, I don't mean Skylanders. Skylanders, we actually have a pretty in-depth view. As far as the water element goes, they don't actually seem to have that much complexity, I would say.
Yeah, maybe a water element. Maybe like water element cards can be like hand destructive, like stopping the opponent from let's just say stopping the opponent from placing source fragment by flipping a coin or something like that, or let's just say I feel like that'd be more like disruptive, like preventing damage or decreasing damage that is dealt to them.
I was thinking that the water elements, obviously not, the water element isn't entirely ice-based things, but the water element would primarily prioritize either freezing and slowing down enemies, making it harder to play out and build up your stuff. Things like that. Basically what you were saying, but with freezing.
Yeah. I definitely think that even though that both ice and water they're both in the same like water category, and they're both considered as the same thing. Just like the Skylanders that just appear to be ice are going, or any cards that appear to be ice are going to play differently
than the normal water cards.
Despite them actually being considered as water cards, they are considered as water cards. They play the same.
So that actually brings me to another thing. I don't think the poll is actually finished yet, but the poll about a new element or not on the Discord, whether or not we should add new elements to this, regardless of them actually existing.
What element would be?
So there are two elements that I had always thought were kind of missing from the game. These two elements being ice and electricity. I always kind of felt like they needed to be in the game, but instead they were always just kind of parts of other elements. Ice was always just a part of water, and electricity was always just a part of like air or water tech. But I always felt like they kind of deserve their own elements, personally.
Yeah. It's like you're thinking of let's say like some sort of like electric Skylander or whatever, just like what? How could they fit instead of it being like someone that has electricity and robots, or someone who uses electric clouds or whatever, but that would fit in aerotech. Even though I do think that electric and ice should be their separate element, I definitely think that putting just the way how the developers put lightning and ice sort of in their own not in their own categories, but in categories along with other elements. It's hard to think of a purely electric Skylander that. That would be considered. Oh wow, I can't do that.
What, the ice thing that I was just doing?
Yeah.
Personally, I've tampered with the idea before, on my own time, even before the game, just because I was always thinking about it. What would an ice Skylander even be like? What would a what would an electricity Skylander even be like? So obviously, for ice Skylanders, we can look towards Slam Bam and Chill for ideas about what an ice Skylander would really be like. Looking at them,
or even Freeze Blade and Kingpin.
Yeah, Freeze Blade and Kingpin too. Looking at that group of ice Skylanders, we can see that the ice element seems like it would prioritize causing ice effect, the ice slipping effects and freezing effects. At least it looks like that's the overall archetype that ice Skylanders would follow. And then as far as electricity, that one's a bit harder to pinpoint Skylanders. From SSA, though, we can obviously look towards Lightning Rod. My Skylanders shelf is over here off camera, so I'm looking at the Lightning Rod and Zap are two good shows of electric Skylanders. Lightning Rod better than Zap. Zap has the one attack, is Lightning Breath, but I would say Zap's still water, just the same as Spyro isn't fire, Spyro is still magic. I wouldn't say Zap is electricity if there was an electric element. It's still water. But as far as electric Skylanders go, like Lightning Rod, it seems that electricity might prioritize long-lasting effects and or speed.
Yeah.
Like speeding up effects. The way I see that working in the cards would be like being able to attack more than once with each card as you get higher up, like further into the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's actually something that I have thought about before. I've even come up with my own characters for things like that. I actually have come up with a electric Skylander who only uses a shield. Similar to I think his name is High Volt, who has the spear in the shield, but this guy would only use a shield as his weapon. I've come up with movesets for okay, off topic a bit from the whole point of this, but I personally study how weapons are used, like melee weapons, actual combat. I have a sword. It's off screen. I'm not going to pull it out right now, but I own a sword. I practice sword fighting and archery.
Nice.
I know how to use
archery.
A variety of weapons. And
Nice.
shield combat was actually something that was historically done and actually has a lot of validity to it and a lot of strategy that could go into play in actual battle with a shield.
Oh, wow.
And actually displaying that in a card.
Oh, wow. That'd be cool.
I've come up with all my own ideas for that stuff. That's not the point of this right now. Maybe a future one of these, we can talk more about that. Hello, Saving Skylands. Hello. Anyways.
Oh my gosh, Victor, hello.
We can talk about that sort of stuff later. That isn't something that this stream is focused about. But perhaps a future stream, we can talk about that more. Anyways, back onto the topic. Water enemies, creatures, Skylanders, all of the above. The water elements. Ugh.
Yeah.
That was a really bad voice crack. I felt it. Yeah. Ugh. Anyways, water elements. Nautiloids. Yeah, like little weird zipper guys in Spyro's Adventure. I think they're first introduced in the level Dark Water Cove.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it doesn't seem like it's very important. They are the one-hit kill enemy of the water elements. So I'd like to mention them for a moment, because while it may not seem like it's very important, they would be your filler card for a water deck. And I feel like just addressing the filler card is important.
Yeah.
So just addressing Nautiloids real quick. They would have a charge. I think we can agree that they would have a charge attack and probably do about 10 damage, and it would be a mid-range attack, as most charge attacks are. And they would have like 10 health. Can we come to a consensus about that? That
Yeah.
one-off enemy. One thing that I would like to have a little mini discussion on, the abilities that Nautiloids would have. Because I would like to give as many creature cards as possible an ability for the bottom section of a card. Skylanders are easy, that's the when Soldier equipped. But for enemies, that's something new that we come up with. So, what should be the ability for Nautiloids?
It's been a while since I played Sparse Adventure. I do not know.
Honestly, Nautiloids don't seem to do much. They normally come in pairs of like 5 or 6. They kind of rev up and then they, run at you. They're pretty easy to dodge, and then they do it all over again. There isn't much to them. They just points.
Are those
charge.
Little sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Sorry, go on.
They just point, charge, and repeat. And while on their own, they might not be that bad. In a group, they're a little bit worse, but still, there's something that a giant could be walking on. All right, now your turn.
Yeah. So are those? I think we were talking about those little pink things with the saw nose.
Yeah.
Those things.
I could find a picture of it. It's in one of the official guides. I don't feel like I need to, because it sounds like you just recalled the Nautiloids. But
yeah, I remember what they look like.
Yeah, there isn't much to them. So maybe they have a grouping effect. So like the more of them that attack this turn, the more damage, or something along those lines. Kind of like the ability of the Drow Spearman, actually.
What if their effects could be like grouping up, which basically is if there is so let's say the card might have multiple pink saw blade things. I forgot what those were called. But maybe those can have like an effect to where if you have more than 3 source fragments of the water element in play, the HP or the health on the little pink things is increased. So basically, they'd all count as being together, but it's on a single card. Basically, the more source fragments that you have in play, the more damage they'll do, and the more health they'll have.
That could work. My only problem with that is the possibility that what's supposed to be a one-and-done enemy ends up being like 100 health and 500. Not obviously that these are unrealistic values, but still like 100 health and 70 damage on your was your one and done card, unless there's some sort of limit or restriction to it. That sounds like you could get a bit out of hand really quickly.
Yeah, but I feel like the people that would play those type of decks would have a lot of source fragments, and with a lot of source fragments, they're going to need a lot more ways to put more source fragments out during one turn. But guess what? That also limits the amount of cards that they can actually produce because they use source fragments.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, also the little pink things are different than the average chompy.
Yeah, the Nautiloids are definitely different than the average chompy, I would say. Dare I say, they are more treacherous than the average chompy. Well, they actually have, coming to think of it, they actually have very similar attack patterns to a chompy. Like a chompy, they both point. They both kind of charge. Well, a chompy leaps at you, and then the Nautiloid charges. They both have I would say, about a mid-distance, mid-range attack. On the card, a chompy has close range, and the Nautiloid would have mid-range just because of the type of attack. but for the most part, in the original games, it was about the same range, about the same charge up and recovery. They're actually very, very similar. The main difference is that a Nautiloid is faster, and I would say a Nautiloid actually does more damage.
Yeah.
I'm going to use the restroom. Then I'll be back. And then we can continue that discussion. I return.
Okay.
Is that talking in the background of your audio?
My little sisters, they're just like wandering, they're kind of loud. Yeah.
All right. Back on topic. Nautiloids. So, ability for Nautiloids. I think under a certain limitation, the buildup of source fragments to Nautiloid strength could work, but I don't think it should be 1-to-1. Like maybe 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 in growth of strength, but if it was 1-to-1, I feel like a Nautiloid would gain a lot more strength incredibly quickly. Much quicker than I think a Nautiloid should gain. Another thing, with the weakest card should be able to defeat the strongest card under the right circumstances. A Chompy should be able to defeat a Nautiloid. If you don't have a Chompy the first turn, you have your one source fragment, play a Nautiloid. So now Nautiloid, due to his effect, for every one source fragment, Nautiloid gains +10/+10 to damage and health. Now Nautiloid is 20 damage, 20 health. Now you play a Chompy. Let's say you had some sort of effect that allows you to attack. No, we won't even say that. You play a Chompy. It has summoning sickness. It is what it is. Back to player 1's turn with the Nautiloid. Player 1 puts down another source fragment. That's 2. Nautiloid is now 30/30. Right? Nautiloid isn't going to attack it or anything yet. Pass the turn. Back to player 2. Player 2 is going to attack with the Chompy. He's going to attack the Nautiloid. Nautiloid takes 10 damage. Now Nautiloid is 30 damage but 20 health. Back to player 1's turn. Plays a source fragment. Nautiloid goes to 40 damage, 30 health. I think you can see where this is starting to get bad now. Now if this Chompy attacks the Nautiloid every turn, no matter what, the Nautiloid is going to have 20 or more health.
I mean, unless you play out stronger cards.
Well, you could play out stronger cards, and you most likely will have stronger cards. But, like I said, I would like to make it so that even under the proper circumstances, even a Chompy could defeat the strongest boss. And if that isn't possible,
maybe
a card becomes
what
unfair.
they're called. Yeah. Maybe the Nautiloids, maybe they still have 10 health and like 10 damage and stuff like that. But once 3 source fragments go into play, they gain like 60 health. So they would have, let's just say, like 70 health. If you have at least 3 source fragments out, no more. But it doesn't matter if you have more than 3. Nautiloid only gets that much health if you have 3 source fragments out, and they have to all be water. Three of them have to be water at least.
Okay. I see where you're going with this, but if they were to gain 70 health, maybe a few more source fragments than 3?
Maybe like 4. 4 is fine.
4.
But
4
then
sounds
also,
good. That's a minimum of 4 turns. By then, your enemy player at least has a few stronger cards.
For right now, I don't know the average health that a creature would have. I don't really know the average amount.
Yeah, we don't have a good average yet because not a lot of cards have been made. We could take the average of the life element, but that isn't representative of everything else. So for now, we'll say after 4 water source fragments, Nautiloid gains X HP.
Yeah.
And it only happens once.
Yeah, it only happens once. I think the effect could also happen to multiple Nautiloid at once, but it doesn't matter how many groups of 4 source fragments you have out, Nautiloid only gains 1. And actually, I think this could probably also be said about the Chompies too.
Well, the Chompies already have their status effect, which comes in play with the Chompy Pod. They kind of go hand in hand. Have a Chompy Pod in play. Then you can play Chompies for free. Then Chompy comes out. If you have a Chompy Pod in play, Chompy gains a bonus to attack and health. So the Chompy already has a sort of bonus thing going on with the Chompy Pod. You can actually see those cards in the history of official items on the Discord. Again, link will be in description and comment section most likely. When this live stream is all over and done. Anyways, back to the topic at hand. That's the Nautiloid over and done with. Other water enemies, the Blastoneers. Wait,
what are those again?
The squid pirate guys with cannons. Hold on.
Wait, are those the ones that shoot the pufferfish?
No. Those are squidlers. I think that's what those guys are called. Yeah, those guys are called Squidwards. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what they're called. The Squidwards. Yeah, those guys are the guys who shoot pufferfish are called Squidlers. Then that is the Blastoneer. Don't know if the image is actually flipped for you guys or not, but that is a Blastoneer. They normally have cannons.
See.
Normally they shoot like 2 cannonballs, so I was thinking, their normal attack is a cannon blast, but maybe under a certain circumstance you can attack twice on a turn. So you get to shoot 2 cannon. Basically, it allows you to shoot 2 cannonballs. Finger quotes, because that's not literally what you're doing in the card game, but figuratively speaking, that's what it represents.
Oh. Yeah, I think maybe a way in attacking twice would also, but also I feel like I'm pretty sure that there probably isn't any cards that are attached onto Skylanders that also give them an extra attack. Like there are some tool cards in Pokemon that does this, and there's actually a Pokemon card called Jumpluff that can attack twice a turn. But you can use tool cards that have an extra attack. So if you attach that onto Jumpluff can use that attack twice. And normally typically those attacks are super powerful. But I feel like if there's effects on a certain creature card that gives it the access to attack twice a turn, it has to be balanced. That there probably has to be a minimum of just like ways that they can get new attacks, if they can at least. I'm pretty sure they might not get new attacks, but if there's any way they can have access to new attacks.
Okay, so
Gonna,
you continue.
I was done.
All right. So what if you can attack twice with the Blastoneer, but only if you have no source fragments tapped by the end of your turn. So you can use 2 attacks, but only if no source fragments are tapped, which basically means you haven't played any spells, you haven't played any new creature cards, you just basically just immediately attack.
Don't you need source fragments to attack anyway?
Yes, you would be tapping them to attack with him, but there has to be none tapped before the attack phase of your turn.
Oh.
And in that
makes
scenario,
sense.
you would have to attack with the Blastoneer first. So that's something you need to keep in mind, because if you attack with another card first, then you kind of counteract your own effects. So that's something to keep in mind with the order of which cards you attack with first. So you might want to attack with your Blastoneer before anything else in the scenario that you start your attack phase with the tapped source fragments.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And although this scenario sounds like it would never happen, the scenario in which you would have no source fragments tapped, I would think would normally happen if already all your creature slots have been filled, you don't have any good spells, or maybe you don't have anything good to play, so you might as well just play your source fragment for the turn and then immediately attack. There are scenarios in which that would happen, so it actually becomes a pretty realistic and sometimes beneficial ability, I would say.
Yeah. It also gives a little slight advantage to the disadvantage, because you have a disadvantage of not having any source fragments out. And also, this way, yeah, it's like if you have no source fragments, you attack extra. It gives you just a little boost when you have the disadvantage.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we have the Blastoneer figured out, but since you said something about the Squidlers, that's a weird name. Let's talk about the Squidlers a little bit. So, the Squidlers are normally put on high posts, and they are a pretty basic attack pattern. They point, they shoot out their gun, it kind of lobs that pufferfish, and then the pufferfish kind of rolls around until it touches you or gets close to you and it explodes. Something interesting I would like to note: technically, in game, those pufferfish are enemies in of themselves. So technically, Squidlers don't do damage, but we aren't going to. I don't think we should include that in the game, because if that's the case, and you can only have 3 of the same name card in your deck,
too much cards.
That'd be a little bit redundant. So, ignoring that, they attack. It is what it is.
Even if they were to have them as separate creatures, I was probably thinking maybe you can shuffle any amount. Shuffle up, of course, up to 3, because you only have 3 of the same. If you shuffle up to 3 into your deck, you reveal 3 of them from your hand to the opponent, and then you shuffle them to the deck, and you deal more damage for each one you reveal to the opponent.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but also you can use certain cards to help get those pufferfish into your hand, and then you can use that. Yeah.
The only one difficulty about that is just the annoyance of it all. So, ignoring the fact that the pufferfish are supposed to be their own enemies, let's just say Squidler attacks.
Yeah.
For this scenario. I'm not completely debuffing. Shia LaBeoufing.
Hello? Hey?
I mean, with Shia LaBeouf, I don't want to deal with actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf. Anyways, song references aside.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Bukwishash. It's a Q instead of an A. How would you legitimately pronounce that? The Quishlash. What kind of card game will it be? Elaborate. What exactly do you mean by that? Elaborate what you would say different types of card games are.
No,
The
I don't.
Quishlash. Well, a quick slash writes their answer to that question back to the Squiddler. So, we'll say in this scenario, Squiddler just attacks. It doesn't spawn a attacking vessel, I'll say. It just attacks. What would the Squiddler's ability be?
Ooh, what if the Squiddler's ability be like when it attacks, but it can be like any attack that it does, it can send out you can like insert your deck for like a pufferfish and you can put it into your creature spot and play. But the pufferfish's effect could be if it goes into play, you may deal a certain amount of damage to let's say like 10 damage, like a small amount of damage to just an opposing Skylander or a creature, whatever, and then that gets discarded or shuffled in deck, or maybe like it just, or whatever, maybe it just stays in play.
Okay. Just got an idea. So what if the pufferfish are their own somewhat separate card from the Squiddlers? The Squiddlers still attack independently. But then the ability, like you said, includes the pufferfish. So you can search your deck and immediately play a pufferfish.
Oh!
Then the pufferfish is its own enemy, it's its own creature card. So its only attack will be a self-destruct. So it does set amount of damage to an enemy and in turn dies itself. But in the end, it counts as an extra block or an extra slot if you have to have a certain amount of creatures to activate an effect. That might actually work.
Yeah, I like that better than my idea.
Then the ability that the pufferfish itself has might be if this card was played by a Squiddler, or, well, if this card was cast due to a Squiddler, then what? Actually thinking about it.
You were mentioning poison effect?
Poison effects, yeah. Ooh,
maybe
poison target?
That. Yeah. I feel like this reminds me of the Pokemon card, the Galarian Zigzagoonus. When you play it from your hand onto the bench, you may put 10 damage on any opponent's Pokemon. Oh, I'll be right back.
Alright. Well, in the meantime, the quick slash. In the description of the video, it says you're brainstorming for your upcoming. In the description of the video, it says you are brainstorming for your upcoming card game, Skylanders Eons of Chaos. Alright, so to hopefully answer your question, the quick slash, the game in it of itself, I would say, is a representation of similar ideas to the game Magic the Gathering and Pokemon the card game, as well as Digimon the card game, and among those, a lot of its own mechanics for the game. All, of course, being Skylander-themed cards and abilities. I hope that answers your question. To kind of elaborate on that, it'll mainly be you have cards, you attack enemy player has his own cards. And so, that comes in with strategy and, all sorts of different tactics that you could try to set out. We're hoping for it to be at least I am hoping for it to be a medium paced game or medium paced games that involve a good mix of strategy and chance.
Ah,
I hope that answers your question, the quick slash. Monster Asylum, you could have talked this entire time. Join the conversation. You could have unmuted this entire time. You could have been joining in. I thought you were muted because of something else. You could have been answering questions and adding to the conversation all you wanted. I don't want this. I mean, no offense to Decidueye. I don't want this to be just a conversation between me and Decidueye. No offense to you. Talking with you is fine, but I would like more inputs than just two. Well, I guess one, other than myself. And the quick slash, I'm glad that answers your question. Monster Asylum, join in on the conversation. Unmute yourself. Have a dally good time. I have never used that word before in my life. I am never going to say dally ever again. I don't know where that came from. But go ahead, join the conversation. You are free to add your input whenever you want. Just don't be rude about it. Don't just like randomly interrupt somebody. That'd be very rude. Don't do that. Come on. So are you gonna add it all, Monster Asylum, or are you going to stay silent?
alright. They're unmuted now, so yeah, so it's about now let's continue. And just let's move on from what is happening here. Okay.
Alright.
Monster Asylum joined. Yes,
All right.
I can hear you.
Has he said anything?
Not that I know of.
Oh, I know he's unmuted. At least I think he's unmuted. Okay, going on away from the Squidler and Pufferfish whole vendetta. Vendetta? Am I using that word correctly? I don't think I'm using that word correctly. Anyways, I think we can move away from the topic of water element creatures for the moment. Because honestly, now I would like to get a bit further into the discussion of how blank ice and electric element Skylanders and creatures would work if we were to make such things. Is everybody cool with this discussion? This
I'm okay with it.
Monster Asylum? Any input?
Yeah. I'm listening to you.
I feel like there's something I missed out on.
I can hear you.
Oh, that is very quiet.
Hello? I can hear you.
What's going on? What's going on here?
I can hear you.
Who can you?
I can hear you.
Who can hear who? What's going on? I hear Decidueye.
I hear, sorry, who is this? Monster as Liam.
Why was Monster Asylum closed?
Asylum.
Okay, so apparently on Discord, for some reason, I had Monster Asylum muted. Don't know why, but he was. Well,
Wow.
you're unmuted now, so now I can hear you. The whole world can.
Wow. This wasn't my fault. It was all yours. Wow.
Nope, it's all your fault. I take no responsibility. That's a lie. That's not a good thing to advertise. I take full responsibility for my actions.
I feel like regardless, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's at fault and who's the problem, who done the problem and who has the problem and who made the problem. What matters is that okay, we're all on the same page now, and let's just move forward.
I was asking, can someone catch me up of what we're doing right now?
Oh yeah, we are.
Did the fourth person just join VC? No, the fourth person did not just join VC. I'm just a crazy person with tinnitus. All right, so
What are we doing?
Monster Asylum, are we good with this topic on the blank, electric, and ice type elements, Skylanders / creatures, if we were to make such things?
We're making ice and electric elements.
That's not decided yet. We're talking about the theoretical possibility of doing so and what it would be like if we did that. That's not actually determined yet or not.
Would some Skylanders be turned into ice or electric?
No
New
Skylanders.
elements, new dragons. There has to be a dragon of those elements. Also,
Yes,
the
of
dragon
course.
element?
That is the stereotype for Spyro's
no,
Adventure.
like, there's like in each element there's a dragon Skylander in Spyro's Adventure,
And
we have to add dragons for
each element.
those elements as well.
That's actually something
we
that I would
make
like
our
to
own?
address.
We make our own Skylanders?
Yes, making your own Skylander. No Skylanders would get element changes. Their attacks might have different type source fragments on them just because they represent elements that actually exist, so it wouldn't just be their own element. But besides that, each element would obviously have to have a dragon as its first slot. So
Slam Bam and Chill are not going to become ice Skylanders.
they're not going to become ice Skylanders. They're going to stay as water. They're just going to have ice type attacks, which is fine. It's like with Spyro with the fire breath, even though he's still magic. It's a similar type ordeal.
That makes sense because of course Chill has that like watery narwhal attack, and Slam Bam has this surfing attack. So like I guess they can also still fit in water as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So, question.
I'm okay with this.
For the main thing about the dragons, which elements get flying dragons and which ones don't? Out of all the Dragon Skylanders from Spyro's Adventure, 1, 2, 3, four out of 8 can fly. Looking at the characters.
I have a question.
Okay.
Are we only adding ice and the electric element? Are we only adding those ones?
Those are the only 2 elements that we're adding, and then we'll also have blank Skylanders and enemies as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
In this theoretical situation.
So how many Dragon Skylanders don't have wings?
4 of them can fly, 4 of them can't. If we go by wings, technically 5 of them have wings, but Sunburn can't fly.
Yeah, even though Sunburn clearly flies in the trailer.
On
the portal.
Sunburn, you guys are pulling my strings here. Sunburn has wings.
Yeah, but he can't fly.
What?
Not in the games.
Not in the games. He has the Phoenix. He has the Phoenix Dash instead, which I actually prefer over flying because I find the flying kind of bogus, honestly. In card formats, it acts as an extra ability, which heightens the character, but at the same time, you miss out on a third. It's a whole ordeal.
Okay, I say that Sunburn has a cousin based off the Thunderbird. Sunburn.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he has a cousin based off the Thunderbird, the electric. electric type for that.
So, looking at these three elements, I would say electricity gets a flying dragon, and then the other two don't. Just throwing that out there.
I feel like that also would flying. I feel like a flying ice dragon would also be really cool.
It would be really cool, but looking at ice overall, it's a heavier thing. It could have a flying Skylander,
Like
but I
Bash,
think
like
it
Bash.
wouldn't fit flying. It'd be more like Bash, like you just said.
Yeah.
And then the blank
I
element would
feel
have a
like
similar scenario. I don't feel like the blank element should get a flying guy. I feel like the blank element should, I don't want to say stay bland, but be kind of mundane, if that makes sense.
Like neutral.
What about a shapeshifter dragon for the blank one?
That's
my gosh,
actually
yes.
that's actually quite interesting, but the main thing that that would be a problem with that is just thinking of mechanics on how that would work. It would be a very complicated card if we were to do that. The
it's
quick
just
slash. The quick
It's
slash.
basically an
I
entire
think it's
gimmick
grounded.
of
Wait.
one Skylander.
Don't most elements have 2 dragons?
No, most elements only have one dragon.
High Five is a dragon, and he's in the life element.
That's not
Camera.
Spyro's Adventure.
What?
That's not Spyro's Adventure.
Is
I
there
know,
a fire dragon?
That's later.
Oh,
We're
those are
only
fire
talking about Spyro's Adventure right now. We'll come up with those other
We're
things
talking
later.
about fire. You guys gotta catch me up on what stuff.
We're only talking about Spyro's Adventure stuff right now. And that actually reminds me of another thing. Should we come up with Dark and Light Skylanders also for this?
Yes, please. Let's go.
Dark
Even
and
though
Light?
it won't be canon.
And that comes up with another question. Should these elements have more, less, or the same amounts of Skylanders that the elements normally do? Should they have 4? Should they have 3, 2, 1 even, which would be kind of lame?
I'll say
Should it be 5? Actually, each element is going to have 5, so 4 or 3 would be a normal amount.
I think that like lightning and ice should both have the same.
Yeah,
like
they
the-
should be together like how Dark and Light is together. If that makes sense.
Works too. Like I mean, 4 Skylanders per elements is also fine. No, wait.
It's actually 5
How
Skylanders for the
many
core
Skylanders
elements.
are in the light and dark element?
The whole reason for the 5 is because each will have the core 4, and then we'll be adding a 5th Skylander that never actually made it to the full cut in that present form, because we're coming up with a beta Skylander who will fully flesh out, like Wooden M. How we made a card for him.
yes, that.
Same thing for each element, except for the new ones, in which case we don't have beta Skylanders for that. We're just coming up with our own Skylanders. So I think 5 for each core, and then 3 Skylanders for electricity, ice, dark, light, and blank. I feel like that might be a good balance. I think that keeps the number even, actually.
Can the blank element be called mystery? Like the mystery element or something?
Why do you bring up this?
Because the blank element just seems blank.
It can be just called the neutral element or normal type.
Well,
Yeah, normal.
that's
I like it
basically
normal.
what it represents. The whole reason we're calling it blank is because of the symbol. It's a B. In the other
It's called
Skylanders
neutral.
card game, which I personally
It's
think
called
is very, very lame, it's blank. It
called neutral.
represents a lack of elements.
Okay. I don't know what else to talk about.
Anyways, how about we just come up with some ideas for characters?
Oh,
Actually,
I've already
hold
come
that
up with,
thought. I need to use
I've already come-
the restroom.
I did. What? You gotta use the restroom?
Yeah, I gotta use the restroom. I don't
Again,
know what that
Oh.
was.
Okay. You gonna leave us like that?
yeah. Anyway, I was thinking of a ice cat.
Ice cat?
An ice cat.
Ooh.
And its name is Permafrost.
Oh, is it a saber-toothed tiger? Saber-toothed tiger?
Maybe that could work.
You can have like its teeth, like made of ice or
I
something.
was thinking the same thing. Yes, or frostbite. Maybe frostbite.
Yeah, you know how many times I heard the like a Skylander that's a saber-toothed tiger, and their name is Frostbite. I heard that multiple times.
Oh my god!
Crypt Crusher said it.
I would like a Mabu Skylander in the blank elements.
What?
Sorry to come in here.
I guess it's.
I had the thought while taking a leak.
That, like, that everyone agrees. It just has to be.
What has to be a Mabu Skylander in the neutral elements?
Oh
yes.
Ooh, what if we put like Flynn and Callie in the neutral element?
Well, they were already actually Flynn's going to be air, but other guys were already going to be in the neutral elements. How fast will they go to the bathroom? Quick enough to take a leak, flush the toilet, and then forget about something very important. Anyways.
Characters. Let's go back to the saber-tooth thing.
Yeah.
The sigil-eye.
Saber-tooth.
What were you guys talking about?
We were talking about a character for the ice.
Oh, okay, a saber-tooth tiger thing?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm listening.
Either permafrost or
Frostbite.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a saber-toothed tiger with frozen teeth. And are you there, SkyO'Steen? Because you haven't said anything.
I'm listening to you. Am I not allowed to listen?
Well, we want to hear your input, bro.
Well, I wanted to hear what you guys were thinking up. I wanted to hear a summary of what you were coming up with.
That was literally it. The saber-tooth was ice for fangs.
Oh.
Is there anything else? Does it have ice for claws too, or something?
Oh, the quick slash has an ice Skylander idea. I'm gonna let them and give them a moment to type that out. I'm just announcing that so that we know to look out for that in the chat. Anyways,
are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
So something I would like to say. So with this saber-tooth tiger Skylander idea, I'm assuming it would be a bipedal sort of situation. Not bipedal, a quadruped situation.
Yeah.
I was thinking
Not like Trap Shadow, but like, quadrupedal.
Okay. Quadruped, not like bipedal. I was thinking when I came up with a saber-toothed tiger and called him Frostbite, he was like what are they called when they're on 2 feet?
Bipedal.
Bipedal.
It's bipedal when you stand on 2 feet. It's a quadruped when it stands on 4 feet.
Okay. My when I made my own Skylander idea, I made a saber-toothed tiger named Frostbite, and
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. I was thinking about. What I was thinking was adding Kraken, Aftershock, and Freezewing in the Sparse Adventure.
Well, they were developed later though. They were came up with.
That just came to my head later. I'm just like, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, nope.
The sad part. That's sad. The sad part.
Okay.
People really dislike Kraken.
The quick slash's idea is an ice-themed Sphinx.
Sphinx?
That says Sphinx in the chat, but I'm pretty sure he means Sphinx.
Like a cat?
Yeah.
So
the only problem with that is that if we do the ice-themed saber-toothed tiger, then we would have 2 cats in the ice element. So
like Scrat?
Maybe
like
a Sphinx,
Scratch?
but not in the ice elements. Unless we were to scrap the saber-toothed tiger idea.
saber-toothed tiger sphinx. Dun dun dun.
So I think the saber-tooth tiger wouldn't be
What
the
if-
dragon.
It was an
Yeah.
electric type sphinx. Electric
Oh.
element sphinx.
Yeah.
So actually, so I've had an idea for an electric element Skylander for a long time. I talked to DeSageY a little bit about it. It involves
Okay.
only using a shield, combo lander idea. I could show you guys the stuff that I come up with for this character. I'm not going to do it right now necessarily, unless you guys want to see my ideas physically. But do we want to work on the saber-tooth tiger idea a bit more, or do we want to see the thing that I just interrupted everybody with?
We can go with SkyO'Steen's ideas.
Let's go with SkyO'Steen.
Okay, well, this is going to involve a physical demonstration, so I'm going to go grab a shield. Fake shield. A representative article.
Hold on.
I need to go back to the stream.
Yeah, me too.
Yes, I'm stupid. It's a sphinx, not a stinky jinx. Stinks.
I don't know if you guys are on stream or not, but you might want to get on stream. Chair, get out of here.
Axelot is here.
Get out of here.
Oh my gosh.
That's a shield. That is a shield.
This is a type of shield called the tower shield. There we go.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So, Van, you need to move.
You can't move a fan. You have to move the fan.
I already moved the fan.
See, you have to move the fan. That's what I've been
That is
telling you.
like a massive shield.
Gave myself free range. Oh, okay. So, ideas for a shield-based electric element Skylander. So, you guys want to see front profile or side profile first?
Wait a second. What's that Skylander from Superchargers?
Superchargers, high volt.
Yeah.
He has a spear and
High
stuff.
volt,
Yeah, he's going to be kind of similar to that, but this is only shield. Literally only shield-based combat. All right.
Yeah.
So for his first,
Okay.
you guys want to see front profile for the attacks or side profile first? Which one first?
You choose.
Okay, I'll go front profile then side profile. So for his first attack, he'll do a series of like shield punches. So like, think like bam, 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 like multiple punches like that. Like maybe even like shield slices. Like so, for instance, it's a punch, then a back punch, then you slice, and
So
slice
is this-
again.
Is this a mixture of high volt and wildfire or something? Huh?
Yes, like that.
Or if you can also just like spin around. Just,
That's
like,
actually another
slicing
thing. That's a
everything
combo.
around.
Because he's melee, I came up with combos for him too. So I'll show you guys side profile for the basic attacks first. Something along the lines of that. Then
So are those his
combos.
neutral attacks? Are those his neutral attacks? Like
These are like his primary attacks. His
A attack.
A, yeah, his A
Yeah,
or
the A
X, or depending on what console you play it on or what have you. So then you would have combos.
Come on,
So
don't
his
play
first
Xbox.
combo would be
Read.
A, yeah, bam, bam, and like an uppercut. And like an uppercut. So then after swap force, it would push enemies up. In the first game, it wouldn't do any upwards attack, but if we were to imagine in swap force, this would shoot an enemy upwards.
Okay.
Maybe
So,
the shield can work like a crossbow also.
coming on to his second attack, this is stuff that I've had for a while. His second attack, he'll do a wide, like, just smack. While it won't necessarily do damage, it will, like, push enemies away from him for an amount of time. Just smack.
When does the electricity happen?
Electricity happens at his third move. He's kind of like Chop Chop in that sense. Chop Chop isn't necessarily undead until his third attack. So,
Oh, your attacks is
following
also
this
stunned.
as his second attack, there are two things. First of all, second attack style combo. Punch. This is where you come in with a spin slice move with the shield edge. Another thing, for his soul gem, if you, let's say you do this, then after holding this, I'm going to turn this way, then you can throw the shield as his soul gem ability and have it come back through some mechanic. Worst part about that is that in real life they have to rebuckle the shield.
I seriously thought that shield was going to either break or put a hole in your wall.
No.
I thought either two was going to happen.
No.
I'm waiting.
Like that will happen yet.
I'm waiting for something to break.
Nothing will break, probably. Even the Quick Slash thought the wall was going to break. Anyways, we come to the third attack. Third attack is a shield smash into the ground. When you do this, electricity will shoot out all around the sky. I haven't come up with a name for it. Around the sky. There's the electric element. Not only that, but if you hold it, it'll work as a shield block. So you can block attacks in front of you.
Nice.
Enemies that
There's
attack you
no-
will get hurt by the electricity from the shield. So, yeah.
Okay, yes.
And then further down the path, it may be an ability. So if you're holding this, use the second attack to bash enemies up like that. It's when you come out of the shield block to get back into battle. And following that, the third attack combo, back to the ins, and then slam like that with the shield,
Okay.
which will shoot electricity out. Shoot it.
Well, maybe lightning shield guy, electric shield guy, can as a card can also be immune to completely ranged attacks, like the ones with the bow symbol.
The long range attacks.
Yeah, the long range attacks. Like maybe after using that attack, long range attacks don't do anything. Because yeah, let's be honest, I'm pretty sure there isn't a Skylander that uses just long range attacks.
I have a question. SkyO'Steen.
Okay, I have an answer.
Do you have a name for this shield guy?
I have tampered with names, but haven't actually come up with a proper name for the shield guy.
He doesn't have a name.
No name.
I thought you said you had the answer. You lied to me.
You asked if I had a name for him. I said no. That is a valid answer.
I was asking for the answer for the name, not the answer for no.
You asked me if I had a name for him. I told you no. I don't have a name for him. That is a
So
valid
the
answer.
guy's name is no. His name is no. Okay.
I will kick open a door.
This is
Anyways.
actually, I actually came up with a character, not for this game, for me earlier.
Okay.
Bro, you hit your arm.
Funny bone. Right in the funny bone. It's not so funny for me. Continue.
Not so. Okay. A couple of days ago, I came up with a bee character that uses technology and stuff.
With Tech B, nice.
It's
Yeah,
actually
tech bee.
interesting.
He has he can shoot. He has this stinger blades on his hand. It's a bit similar to Swarm, except they're lightsabers and stuff. Lightsabers. He even can. He has a hexagon shield, a hexa shield.
Mhm.
He can I don't know how to explain it, but you can make like a futuristic see-through shield. I don't know what it's called. Don't know.
Maybe
And-
the lightning shield guy can be named Gigawatt.
Giga Wasp.
Gigawatt and Giga Wasp.
But I was gonna.
The electric shield guy.
Oh,
The Quick Slash also has a suggestion for his name. His name is Power Surge. That's what the Quick Slash said. That's actually a good one. Power Surge.
Also, the bee guy is called Buzz Zapper. His name is Buzz Zapper.
Oh wow, yeah.
Buzz Zapper. Yeah.
Zappia.
Yeah, he's a Buzz Zapper. He likes to zap and
Oh,
slash.
see, with a kind of
enemies.
southern accent, it actually sounds a lot better. Bazapper. That was not country. This is country. Bazapper. That actually sounds a lot better with a country accent for some reason. Does the bee have a country accent? Can this be canon? Does the bee sound
He's from
southern?
the future. He's from the future. He's a robot.
So he's
From
southern.
the future.
So what I'm
What?
hearing is he's from the future version of Florida. Okay.
He's the future version of Swarm. More like I'll say like a clone of like a.
Wait, so Buzz Zapper is. I would assume Buzz Zapper would be a core,
Yeah, he is a core. He's a core.
but then
He's
how?
just smaller than Swarm.
Ah,
He could be distantly related to Swarm.
Yeah. Yeah, let's say that.
yeah.
He can shoot like the stinger bullets that paralyze enemies. Like you can. I haven't like. I don't know how to describe his powers, but basically they're just like a force field, lasers, and lightsabers. That's basically it. And they're all like they all shock. They're all taser like things. You touch the force field, you get tased. You touch the lightsaber, you get tased. You touch the bullets, you get paralyzed. So yeah.
Mhm.
I haven't really like finished that,
That's all right.
that. And he's not in the tech element. He is a robot, but he's not in the tech element. That's
So he could work in the electric element.
yeah, he can work in the electric element.
Okay, so actually, I had another idea for a Skylander. I wrote it down in on my phone in Notepad, but I don't actually remember it.
Oh, you muted yourself.
Yeah, it's another one that I came up with. That's it. So
I think you muted
literally,
yourself.
its name, it's a light
You
element.
muted yourself.
Its name is Samurai.
Fucking, but you muted yourself.
I muted myself.
Bro, you muted yourself, bro.
No, I didn't. No, I
No
didn't.
way.
Anyways, what I was saying, I came up with a light Skylander. His name is Samurai. It's a pun because he's like eyeball. He's like an eye type creature.
Oh.
I actually made a full-blown list of upgrades and attacks and stuff for this guy. So
Oh, nice.
I can read them all to you guys, but I don't feel like that's necessary right now. Although, however, I did come up with a funny catchphrase for him. His catchphrase is, "See any better?" It's very funny. It's comical. He has a katana.
Wow.
He throws knives. He has an eye beam. He shoots lasers. He's basically Eyebrow, but a samurai. That's the best way I can describe him without getting in depth.
It would be cool if he was just a like Bible, like an actual Bible angel. Like, you know what an actual Bible angel looks like?
Into Skylander. I don't care.
You know what an actual Bible angel looks like?
No. Sadly, I don't
No?
read the Bible on a regular.
You should search up Bible accurate angel. You should search that up.
If I search this up, will it show up bad in my search history? I'm still looking it up nonetheless, but Bible accurate angel. Am I going to regret this?
You're gonna see a lot of like, be not afraid. Be not afraid. Be not afraid.
Images.
Be
Wow,
not afraid.
it looks like a bunch of feathers and eyes.
Yep.
Be not afraid.
It looks lovely.
It's like something straight from a fever dream.
It looks like something from Dungeons and Dragons.
It does.
Literally
does.
everything with Dungeons and Dragons is either tentacles or eyes in random places. That's how they come up with their things. It's like, okay, how about a stick, right? But it has tentacles with eyes at the end of each tentacle. Why do you always resort to hentai with your creations?
Those are actually only one creature, and those are actually called the Beholders.
Yes, I know
They're
about the
actually a
Beholders.
wide
Thank you very
variety
much. I know about the Beholders. I know about the weird blood Beholders. I know about the undead Beholders. I know about the zombie Beholders. I know about the Beholders. There are too many of them.
They're like, let's remake the same thing, but like different.
That is the entire story of every 2K NBA game ever. All right, so back on topic.
You want to go back to the saber-toothed tiger?
Yes, I actually do. Let's go back to the saber-toothed tiger.
Okay, Decidueye.
Oh yeah. The saber-toothed tiger is. It basically speaks for itself. It's basically just some like icy saber-toothed tiger. It's named Frostbite.
Oh, I like the permafrost.
Oh really?
I keep hearing frostbite, and I keep thinking of my.
Okay, yeah. Okay, permafrost sounds better.
Permafrost.
Permafrost.
Permafrost. It's punny. Very, very punny.
Loads of Glock 40 and things to add.
Goodbye, Big Quick Slash. We hope to see you, hopefully, if there is another one of these, the next one of these. Don't forget to check the description of this video afterwards for link to the Discord if you aren't already there. I actually don't know if you're there or not. All right, back to the saber-toothed tiger. Permafrost.
Yeah.
Grow in size. Like if one of his powers were to grow in size, like become like a behemoth or something.
Ooh. Yeah. Maybe the tiger thing could even turn into something like basically like kind of like similar to where like Frino heats up maybe.
He like builds up ice.
Yeah, builds up like ice powers, and then when it's all like filled up with power, he can like transform into something like Brown Zacian or something.
What if he's like? What if he becomes bipedal when he when he becomes bigger?
Yeah.
Okay, so that sudden idea time here. I'm saying it out loud right now so that I don't forget about it later. But something to keep in mind for when we get to giants, ice giants, maybe like one of the Yetis, but like a big one. I can't think of anything about moveset. Maybe something kind of similar to Slam Bam, but a giant version. I'm just going to say it out loud here right now so that we have a audio-visual record of its existence for later. Back to permafrost. So building up ice.
What?
Building up ice.
Yeah.
Okay.
This might be really odd, but maybe maybe the saber-tooth tiger's first attack might actually be like similar to Drill Sergeant, where he shoots out his own teeth as projectiles, but then they grow back. That sounds really odd, but I guess it might work.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Do.
Maybe maybe like a freezing bite that just immediately just freezes the opponent from the inside.
Like it's like injecting venom or something.
Oh, yeah, actually, yeah, something like that.
Bro, be yawning, bro.
Do you enjoy how rude and disrespectful I'm being? Oh.
Okay. Wait, am I allowed to have are we allowed to make like Skylanders for the other elements, like the original ones?
What do you mean?
Yeah, okay. Hold on, let me show you. Wait, where is this bitch? Hold on, let me find her. Ah, okay, here she is. Here she is. I got you. Okay. Okay, I'm putting in VC.
Alright. Oh, I've seen that one before. I think
Yeah.
it said,
It was in the time troop. It was in the time troop.
What was in the time troop? I'm not part of the time troop one anymore. Oh, it's that thing.
Look at VC.
That thing that you've been having for a while.
It's an earth type. Not earth type, earth element. God, I keep mixing Pokemon and Skylanders together. God.
Maybe because we're talking about card games?
What?
Maybe
No,
because
it's
we're
not.
talking
Sorry,
about card games and such.
No, it's not. It's not because of the card games. Because I'm in I'm in a couple of Pokemon servers and in Discord.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. This is Cobra. Cobra even has a Pokemon name.
Cobra.
They're a Gorgon that turns people into stone.
Ah.
Kind of like Doomstone?
Yes.
Like a similar mechanic.
I was gonna say,
What?
Or Crusher?
Yeah, I was gonna
Closer
say
to Crusher?
Yeah.
Probably closer
Yeah,
to Crusher.
basically, but like Crusher with their eyes are okay. The Sankobra's eyes are normally red, but they turn green when she's about to use her powers.
Dang it, the green actually looks better.
Yeah, but I want to. Okay, I have another one with her like normal eye colors. Right, except it's in a different style. It's an earlier.
Yes, tell the
version of her.
red-green colorblind guy that the green one looks better than the red one. Yes, because I'll be able to tell the difference. 100%.
They're both in a different hairstyle. Okay. Here's the earlier version.
Wait a minute, the eyes on the first one weren't red?
Oh, she was using her powers in the first one. Wait,
I didn't know they weren't red. I thought they were red.
I'm confused. What are you talking about?
I'm red-green colorblind. The green I thought the green was red.
Oh, you're colorblind?
Yeah, I'm colorblind. I thought the green was red. I 100% thought that was red.
Yeah.
I see the error in my ways now.
Okay, the first one has green eyes. The second one has red eyes. This is her earlier design. This is her new design. But the new one is using their powers. The old one is not using powers right now.
Ugh.
Also, do I have the moveset? I remember I had the moveset somewhere.
Didn't you also put the moveset into Time Troop?
What?
Didn't you also put the moveset into Time Troop at some point?
Yeah, I did put in the Time Troop. Yeah, I even did it on Reddit as well.
Yeah, I saw it on Reddit.
You asked me and I did not know where, or like the dock thing or something. How I did the.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the person that helped me with the. Actually, let me go to Reddit and just screenshot it. Okay. Okay, here we go. There you go. Very quiet here. Am I right?
Yeah. I'm probably going in a few minutes.
We need some music. Come on, put some music on, man.
No, it's monetization.
What's demonetization? I mean, I don't. First of all, I'm not monetized. Second of all, I can put on Skylander's music.
Alright.
Okay, here's the moveset and stuff that I have for her.
All right.
It's in the VC.
Alright, let's look at this.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. So, Spirit Sneaks, Petrification, Serpentine, Long-Lasting Statues, Send Snakes behind her when we use Serpentine, Triple Snake Fire, Improved Speed after Serpentine, Prettier Petrification, Superior Snakes. Huh. It's actually a well thought out moveset.
And I also haven't put this in there yet, but every time she uses her, like if she like sheds her, every time she uses her stone, like turns herself into stone and sheds. She gets a new pattern on her scales.
Huh. You guys
Like
can
stripes.
hear the music in the background?
Not really.
Just turn it up some. How about now?
Nope. Maybe because I'm in the BC.
Do you hear it now?
Okay. I can kind of hear it. Yeah, I can hear it now.
It's quite loud for me.
Alright, I'm probably gonna get going.
Okay.
Nice talk. Good talk.
Good talk.
Nice talk.
Is it over? It's over so soon.
Is it?
Right when I just got the music going. Ah.
How long have I been here? Like 3 hours?
No,
Yeah,
you've
I
been
wanna
here
be
for
here
2
for-
hours and 50 minutes.
Okay, 2 hours, 50 minutes, close enough.
I wanna be here an hour long and see what. Okay, so what else to talk about? Y'all know that the Queen died.
Oh my god.
Really?
I seriously thought she was immortal.
Really? The Queen of England died? I had
Yeah.
no idea.
Yeah.
Like, how? That's literally impossible.
She died of old age, I think. That's what they want us to believe.
Imagine it goes to like April 1st. Imagine they do the whole thing, like the whole
It's
the
an
crying
April
ceremony for like an
Fool's
entire
prank.
year, and then when it goes back to April 1st, Queen Elizabeth is like, "I'm not actually dead."
Queen Elizabeth was just
It makes it more
peekaboo.
realistic, actually, than
I died, but I live.
if anything that would actually be more realistic.
What if she didn't actually die? She just ran away because she was done being queen. She wants to live the last few years of her life with not responsibility.
In a coffin.
Exactly, in a coffin.
That sounds like Mr. Beast. Sounds like Mr. Beast putting himself underground. Buried himself underground.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure I had other ideas for like characters like Skylanders. Oh yeah, the Thunderbird. The Thunderbird.
Thunderbird.
Yeah, the Thunderbird cousin for
Oh yes.
for Sunbird. He'll like basically the same to Sunburn, but a different like instead of looking like a turkey or whatever. Sunburn looks like he will be looking like a different bird.
I'm thinking of something maybe like Zapdos or Galarian Zapdos.
Yeah, like that, like Zapdos.
An ostrich, or maybe something like more flying bird.
Yeah, more flying.
Like a heart dragon sort of flying, basically an electric
part
phoenix, fundamentally.
He's basically part dragon. Actually, maybe I could do like what would be okay. So maybe like a wyvern, maybe.
Ooh, a wyvern.
I might give him like short arms to this, like short arms, but he still have wings or something. maybe like part dinosaur, part Thunderbird. Maybe I'll just never mind. He'll just look like Sunburn, but he had different move sets and stuff, but different like facial structures.
All right, I'm gonna say that we should end this stream once it hits the 3-hour mark, which is
Alright,
5 minutes.
Actually, yeah.
I think that's
Maybe
fair.
next time when you do this,
We should
maybe when you do this, please do this on like when I'm out of school.
when would that be?
3 something.
We started it at like 5. We need a
Well,
time
it's 4
zone.
for me. It's 4 for me.
It's 4 for you right now. It's nearly 8.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So, when you guys... Okay. So, maybe on the weekend or something.
We can't. How about just Mondays, but later?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Mondays, but later. I can do that.
But yeah, so do this next Monday. Maybe start it a bit later though. Otherwise, I would call this entire ordeal a success.
Are you saying like in the morning or?
No, not in the
Okay.
morning. What? Why would do it in the morning? Nobody wants to do that in the morning.
I'm kind of confused. Not gonna lie, man.
I have things to do in the morning. Like wake up.
Okay. Get ready for school.
No, it doesn't take too much time. It's mainly just wake up. Anyways, this has been good. This has been a good stream. I would call it a success. Plus, this marks the end of my YouTube hiatus. Woo! Hopefully,
this is the start of your YouTube.
this is the end of my YouTube hiatus.
Oh,
Because I took like a
What's
month-long hiatus for no reason. Oh yeah, that's right. I got sick. Something like that. Anyways, that's besides the point. This has been a successful stream.
I would like.
I have been
I was like-
SkyO'Steen. The Situai has been you know who, and Monster Asylum has been annoying. That has been the stream.
Hey, I am
Skyworld, Sky, you joined at like literally the end.
bro.
Sky literally just joined. Do we have to end it? Do we have to end it now? I kind of don't want to be a jerk to Sky.
Guy. Ask your
Here's
first
to another
question.
hour. Hurt my thing. Why did a bunch of people just show up? What is
What the
going
fuck?
on?
Oh, let me see this.
They're
Oh,
spamming.
it's
They're
raiding you.
They're spamming.
Raid
They're
them.
raiding me. Oh no!
Yeah.
Whatever will I do?
Raiding.
Whatever will I do right at the end of the stream? Ah, I am so terrified.
Oh my gosh.
It's a raid. You should be very lucky you got raided.
Why are there like
Yeah,
28 people?
There are 26 people here. What?
How did this blow up in like 2 seconds?
Bro,
what
we were
happened?
about to end. Bro.
Bro, why did everybody join at the freaking end?
Someone tagged everyone in Victor's server or something about this.
Screw it. You guys ready for another hour?
What if they leave? If they just wanted to raid?
If they leave, who cares? We did most of this with no people. We can keep doing this with no people. I don't care.
Hey, someone subscribe. Let's go.
We bring back the
Subscribe.
music. We bring
Someone
back
put
the
your mom.
music. Why does the music sound quieter than last time?
I don't know. Content raid,
Woo,
Squidward,
content raid.
Mom,
All right,
Mr. Krabs,
let's do
shut
this.
up.
More card creation.
Content raid, yes, don't end it. Content raid.
Woo,
Yes,
content raid.
Oh yeah, Squidward. Yo,
All right,
let's go.
so
He's not
enough of.
ending it because of us. Wait, what?
Can we like get back on topic now? Let's make some cards.
go.
Let's do this.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so back to
You want to catch them up on everything we just did?
Oh yes, catch them up. That's a
Yeah.
smart idea. So we've
I'm
been
gonna
making
take I'm gonna
cards.
take a quick break for a bit.
This will be an intermission. Let me summarize everything that's happened. Me, the Decidueye guy, and Monster Asylum have been making ideas for the card game that we've been making on Discord. I'm gonna link a invite to the Discord in the description of the Everybody's Leaving of the live stream, whatever you call it. Anyways, we've been making cards. I don't know what this hand motion is. Is everybody ready for more card creation?
Y'all want to join the Discord or something? Y'all want it?
Hold on a second. I can send them hold on. I'm going to send an invite into the chat. Because I can. We just copy link.
Y'all want to be in the Discord?
Bam. There's the link. If any of y'all want to join. Let's get into this. Alrighty. More card creation. Saber-tooth tiger ice Skylander idea. That's right, we've been making ideas for elements that don't exist. Ice, electricity, dark, light, and blank element Skylanders and enemies
Neutral.
all in Spyro's Adventure. So let's do this. What would the saber-tooth tiger have for attacks?
Well, that was Decidueye's idea, so
Well, I'm asking both of you.
First attack, these bullets.
Teeth bullets? I heard teeth bullets. That piqued my interest.
Yes.
Okay. We gotta make this enjoyable for the people who are watching. Who are leaving. Sad
The
part.
people who are leaving. Yeah, we gotta make this enjoyable for the people who aren't here. MSM Content told us to come here. Okay.
Who's Emma? I want to know who's that.
I don't know who that is, but it sounds like a cool dude. So, thank you, MSM Contents. Whoever Mystery Man is, whoever the Mystery Man MSM Content is, thank you for telling people to come here, I guess. No, I don't guess. I decree. Let's do this.
Yeah.
This is like the 5th time I said let's do this. Let's make it 6, and let's do this. No, it's 7. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Okay, it's 10. Let's do this. So, I feel like we can't avoid the obvious here and ignore the fact that since it's a saber-tooth tiger, we should have a swipe attack.
Yep. Swipe.
Sure.
Claw. Swipe. Tap.
Claw, swipe. I feel like the music is getting too loud now. Music needs to be quiet. I'm turning the music down a bit. All right. So.
Oh, they're going to raid someone else now. Someone else now.
Have fun raiding other people. I'm fine with continuing
Go
this.
have fun. Go have fun raiding other people.
So,
Thank you for the content.
thank you for the random burst of and people to entertain, I guess. Which Sky are you talking to? This one or the one that's leaving?
Oh, they're talking about you.
They're talking about me. Where's the link? I can send in the link a second time. There's the link. Can we
Is it in the description? Do you have it in the description? No, you don't have it in the description.
I can actually put it into the description right now. Link to Discord. Put it in the description, so it should be there now. Anyways, so are you guys still here?
Yeah, we're still here.
Okay.
I am.
So swipe attacks. Combos? Yes or no? Should that be a combo style move or no? That's the question.
Maybe combo. I like the combo idea.
Combo idea?
Combos are alright.
I'm personally a big fan of combo landers. Actually, I am a big fan of combo style Skylanders.
Yeah.
Myself.
Yeah, you get more animation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Get cool action scenes by doing it. I even like eyebrows, like tendril, like eye tendril thing combo.
Yeah. So, keeping that all in mind, what should the combos be? Obviously, if we do combos, it would be 3 different combos. So, it has swipes.
Like,
what would the combo be?
swipe,
Like a
like-
pounce?
Swipe, light, swipe.
Maybe
Swipe, pounce?
Swipe. Freezing bite.
Swipe, freeze, bite.
Am I streaming on my PC? Yes, I am. I'm streaming on a laptop. The setup is very primitive. It's very primitive. It's literally streaming directly to YouTube from a laptop camera. Got the call on Discord. Anyways, so
Like how many combos? 2 or 3?
3. It has a 1-1-1 combo, 1-1-2 combo, and 1-1-3 combo.
Okay.
If we were to number the buttons.
Swipe, freeze, bite. Swipe, freeze, bite. Swipe, freeze, bite.
So like a swipe, bites combo.
Swipe,
Swipe,
swipe.
freeze, bite.
yeah. Swipe, freeze, bite.
Okay, so hold on a second. I'm gonna ask the chat something real quick. Can you hear the music? Yes or no?
No.
I'm asking the
I
chat
can
something.
hear it, but it's glitching out. It's glitching out.
Yes.
It's glitching
Yes.
out for me.
What dost thou want,
Dr. Magic
Dr. Magic?
Born. Dr. Magic Born. Okay. Sky, I have an idea. Yo, Sky, yes.
What is
Okay.
your idea? The music is kind of choppy. Darn. Should I just cut out the
A
music? then?
giant zombie? Ooh,
I cut out
you
the
should
music.
do a giant zombie troll.
Giant zombie troll. Aito! Anyways, you should do a giant zombie troll. Would it be undead or tech? I feel like that'd be undead if we're specifying zombie.
Would this fit more in giant though? Would this fit more in giant?
That
though?
would fit more in giants. Yeah, that's something I should mention. We are doing it game by game, so it would be Spyro's Adventure, then Giants, then Swap Force. So if your favorite, for some reason, happens to be Imaginators, you're gonna have to wait a while for those cards to be made of your favorite Skylander, if it's from Imaginators or not. So, yeah, point to be made there.
Oh, I wonder how the Imaginate crystals are going to work.
That's something to worry about later. Just, I
have
wave it
the
away.
most-
I waft it out of the room. Get those stinky thoughts out of here. Anyways, I think I'm gonna cut out the music. If it's just playing choppy, there's no need to keep it.
Okay.
All right. So, see you later. First, Epic Maw.
Okay.
So, that was
okay.
off topic. Continuing on the idea of the Frost Saber-tooth Tiger with the combos. What?
Magic Born in
Magic Born has
not-
another idea. Let's hear it. I'm all for getting ideas.
We're doing Spyro's Adventures.
Yeah, just keep that in mind. We're doing Spyro's Adventure stuff. And no idea is bad. It just
No idea is
simply
bad.
won't be. It's just one that's meant to be ignored.
It's Skylanders. Anything
That was
happens,
derogative.
that's-
That was very derogative. I'm sorry. No idea is bad. Let's hear your idea.
Say
Have you
that
made
your
Arbo?
idea-
Arbo is a planned card. It hasn't actually been
Arbo?
beans. I like beans. It hasn't actually been made yet.
Have you made Arbo?
Yeah, it's a planned card. It hasn't actually been fully fleshed out yet, although it will be very soon.
Okay.
So, what's your idea about Arbo? Or was it just
Arbo.
making Arbo a card?
Because I think we were going to make Arbo a card anyways.
Yeah, because
no
we
idea
were
how the
going to make
NPC
Arbo a
card's gonna
card.
come out.
Maybe you make a fragmented version of him, which is evil. I'm listening.
Like an evil?
Like an
like an
evil
evil
Arbo, like almost evilized,
Ah,
dark
like a
Arbo.
dark-
Yes. So an
Maybe we
evil
can-
Arbo that works for
maybe-
chaos.
Maybe you can make like evil versions of NPCs or something.
That sounds
like
like a
from Mirror
DLC idea.
Like the
Before
Mirror
I did.
Mystery or something?
Yeah, no, that's not even the kind of DLC I meant. Like DLC for the card game.
Okay. Yeah, we can like try to like do that.
Ugh. Yeah. Yeah, big yawn.
Wait, so what was your opinion on the raid, SkyO'Steen?
What was my opinion on the raid? It was
Yeah.
actually like kind of funny. I'm gonna be honest. Like, didn't expect it. Skyworld showed up, and then like just 15,000 people appeared. It's
Like,
actually like pretty
whoosh.
neat.
yeah, I wouldn't expect that either.
Whoosh.
It's like they just came in there like, we exist. We exist and we're here to raid your channel.
Yeah. You gave me a friend request. I will accept it as soon as we get off stream. If it's on Discord, I'm assuming. I would
Yeah,
assume.
They're in the server, so
Yeah.
they can friend you.
Oh, that's another thing. When we get back into the server, when I get back into the server, I'm gonna have to give a bunch of new people member roles if a bunch of new people showed up.
Hold on.
Wait,
let me check.
Decidueye, you have admin. I'm pretty sure you can do it too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you have admin, you can give people roles.
Wait, where do new people come in?
No, I'm a moderator. I'm not an admin.
Am I the
Well,
admin?
mod, same thing. You have the ability to give people roles. At least I'm pretty sure I
Oh.
gave you that power.
Oh,
I gave
There
you
is
like
more people
every
coming.
privilege.
there was new people. Oh wow, that's a lot of people. Wait, no.
Hold on a
What's
second.
that?
I'm gonna pop into Discord real quick. Is it a
Wait,
lot of
never
new
mind.
people?
No. I think it was just one.
It's just one new person.
Yeah.
No, I'm not an admin. I'm a mod, lead developer, and member.
Hold on.
Alright.
Actually, let me.
Alright.
Wait, actually. Okay, I'm just. Okay, I'm not an admin either.
No, of course you're not an admin. I only gave one
How
person
dare
that
you.
privilege.
I'm your daddy, okay?
Hey, yo.
Bro, you did. What's
Did
card
anybody...
building? Someone.
This is why I'm pretty sure you can give him the member role real quick.
Alright, yeah.
What's
said with
card building? It's where we come up with ideas for making the cards. That's what card building is. This stream specifically, we're coming up with ideas. We aren't literally making the cards. It's more of a brainstorming than anything.
Yeah, we were brainstorming about ice element, electric element, neutral element.
The actual software that I use to make the cards, I actually do all from my phone. Most of the stuff is actually all done from my phone, believe it or not. So, yeah.
I feel like the cards need like a special background. Not gonna lie.
We already talked about giving a texture to the cards. You weren't here for that. That was already talked about at the start.
Good. Okay. We really need to set this like in an earlier time though. Not gonna lie. So I can be in here.
Well, it's not our fault you don't go by EST.
I'm sorry that I don't like live where you live or have the same time zone as you.
Yes, Dragonborn. Dr. Magicborn, sorry. I read that as Dragonborn. I've been playing Skyrim. Okay, what's your idea? That's how he wrote it, all right?
Idea. Give us your idea. We need to make
Steam,
this game.
nobody asked. Steam just gave me a notification. Steam, nobody asked. What is your idea?
SkyO'Steen.
A swarm of giant bees. That sounds terrifying. that actually does sound like Swarm. Not only that, but that also sounds like your electric future bee thing that you came up with, Monster Asylum.
That doesn't turn into giant multiple bees. That's
but it is a giant bee, basically.
Giant robot bee, yeah.
Giant robot bee. Sorry. Okay.
It's a bee-bot.
And it has the Lego breaking sound. Legos have breaking sounds? What?
Oh, you know, the Lego, like, you know when you, like, connect a Lego or, like, split it apart? You have, like, that type of sound? Or when you just rattle them together?
Yeah. Yes.
Basically, what the Legos.
It's basically that sound.
Yeah, basically that sound.
Is the Situai still in chat?
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, he is. We got 3 people. Should we end it now?
No! Not funny! We end it when it reaches 320, sure.
Buzz said swarm. Buzz said swarm.
Anyways. I completely lost my train of thought. Train of thought has left the station for the second time this stream. Alright, well, this is the final minute of the stream. Let's wrap it up all real good. This time for real. I have been SkyO'Steen, and with us we have had the Sidui guy and Monster Asylum. Yes, Dr. Magicborn, you joined right at the freaking end. You guys rated right at the end. You ended up making it last an extra 20 minutes. No story finishing for you. Finish it in the Discord. Finish it in the Discord. Finish it in the Discord. Do it in the Discord.
We can make a channel for you so you can do it.
It's 8:20 right now. It's time to wrap this up. I have been SkyO'Steen. With me, I have had the CGY guy and Monster Asylum. This has been the stream. I wish you all a good night and a happy day. I don't know what that was. The end.
Oh, we're going to the Dr. Magic